Look at those three faces. I guess five if you include ours. Did you notice how Rios is bluish, Seven is greenish, and Picard is orangish?
And I'm great-ish. And you're fantastic-ish.
Oh, something must be wrong. You complimented me.
I was gonna say something not nice, and I thought, no, I should change it up.
That's the curveball that no one ever expects. Politeness from Captain Foley.
Right?
But as Doug would say, you mean to who you like. So the more mean he is, the more he likes me. Right, everyone?
It's true.
Let's see
anyway, guys, welcome back. We are going to be talking about episode 8.
Oof.
Broken Pieces. Yeah. Will be lots to talk about, and hopefully it all goes well. Hopefully you can hear us and all that jazz. You know the routine. He's checking the audio right now. You can tell looking and doing his thing. It looks all like, ooh, look at that. Adjusting the levels. It's all good.
Okay, I was a bit low, so now I'm louder. Let's see how that sounds and shit.
Alright, so now he's louder. And so hopefully that works out well. Volume is awesome, says Ozzy. Volume is awesome when it's working properly. Yeah. So there we go. Sound is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
It's more important than you think. I just got finished watching the episode literally a few minutes ago, and then I had to do the last little thing. So I'm right off the heels of the script, and you know, it's funny when you watch it a second time and you know the experience. It's like a roller coaster of like, now I'm right off it, so I've just experienced it. I'm you know, hyped with all the emotions, because you do watch different on a second watch, than a first watch especially. So yes, very fresh.
Indeed, I've seen it a few times now, so
yeah, it's more just part of the adventure for you as opposed to whatever. And guys, do go and watch our spoiler-filled review from earlier, because we put effort into those. They are neat, compact, well-edited pieces that show all the graphics, show all the things that we're going to talk about that we're not going to talk about here, and it's just an easy 26 minutes to watch, and already almost 1,000 views in 2 hours. So brilliant! Do go and watch.
Please do. Watch all of our content.
Comment. It's true. We've got a ship video coming out tomorrow, a guest on Sunday, and all the normal stuff during the rest of the week. So should be a good week. We've already filmed most of our week's content, and yeah, some good stuff I think coming up this week. Yeah.
We got 3 super chats to start off, so let's get into those. Oh, I said the word. It's okay. Taurus69, $2, 23 likes. Hit that like button.
Well, I'm going to click it now. There you go, 45. There you go.
Eugene, 250 rubles. Going to repeat myself. At smaller scale, a lot of absolutely beautiful moments, good acting and writing. At grander scale, sheer hubris, cheap wrap up and rip off.
Well, it's certainly an inexpensive episode, but they've all been, so in different ways. Interesting. I don't know.
Taurus69, $2. My membership badge changed today. Yay! Yeah. The longer you've been a member, the more they change.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Awesome. My badge is not auto-renew. That way I can get to stay medical. Well, if you want to stay medical, I mean, that's fine. But anyway.
Oh, that's fun for heads. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Do you want to just explain what Join the Channel is? Because that's a really cool new thing.
No, I'm scared. I don't want to talk to people. I don't like people. I'm a shy guy.
Not based on the post you posted earlier today.
Anyway. Yeah, guys, if you want to join the channel, there's... And I'm appear to be frozen. No, no. Yeah, join button down by the subscribe button. If it's not there and you're on a mobile device, just click the super chat button and there'll be a opportunity to join the channel. You can join the rank of commander, captain, or admiral. and help out the channel on a regular monthly basis, and release, have fun, cool stuff. You can put in the live chat, emojis, and be part of the. You can put like avatars of us and stuff. And I should be able to add more soon, I think, because we got a few members last night.
Brilliant.
And some the other day as well. So I'll have to go take a look at that. I haven't had a chance yet today. So.
And it is great to have a few bonus people every live. It's pretty cool. And there we go. We got one. Haha! Brilliant.
Speak of the devil, Dimas Alves. Welcome to the rank of Commander. Welcome, Commander. Welcome aboard.
Fellow Commander.
Jeff Jacobs, 259 in under 5 minutes. That's a great sign. Hashtag make Jeff.
Yeah.
What's that bassy humming noise? I don't know. I don't hear anything. David Stelzer. There you go. David Stelzer. Welcome to the rank of Commander as well. That's another one.
Oh, wow.
Lots of people joining, so really
duo. Yeah, well, that's not. I mean, yes. I think we joked, and I might actually try and do that, where we make little, not say awards, but we get a sense of how many people as we go. And so once we eventually get like a defined crew size, we'll make a post of it. Nebula, Galaxy Sovereign, and then at some point when we have like 10,000 members, it'll be a space dock size. Because just like Patreon, if we get a certain number of people join the channel who they probably can directly talk to, that can spoil the channel completely, and therefore we don't even need to get the views from YouTube. We can just be talking to you guys directly, and that's a really kind of a fun way, because there's lots of content we just haven't been able to do for a long time because it doesn't make the views, like top 10s and such.
Yes. Mackley says, it's my mic. So fix your mic, Cap. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. Apparently I sound quieter than you.
Okay.
No one is bumping the mic, so I don't know what bass sound you're hearing.
It was just our computers just put on in the background. These are pretty good microphones.
I don't know, but
anyway, yeah. Not important. But yes, welcome David, welcome. But I will now share. We're 124. Good time to share, and then you can do our super chats as well in our preamble.
Absolutely.
Because sharing is caring, and super chats are super, and that was no smart involved at all. Because we started to talk about this one, so if you guys want more people to be part of the conversation, because we do find that more people in these lives do actually enhance the quality, so share it if you want on Twitter. Let people know there's a full live scene by scene breakdown happening right now, because boy, as you know, we're going to do a lot of detail with these, and some cool visuals to talk about. So yeah, do let people know.
Alright guys, so this is Captain Foley. Please make sure that you can hear me fine. I'm getting kind of sick of people saying they can't hear me when the audio levels should be fine. So hopefully this is better. Hopefully you can hear me now. Seriously, I'm not in a good mood to deal with sound issues. And we did try to sort them out at the beginning of the stream, so there shouldn't be any. But guys, if you want to help out the channel, maybe get me a new mic, even though we have the best Yeti mics available, please feel free to super chat or join the channel. Or join our Patreon. Patreon/Trekyards is another great way. Anyway, sorry, I'm super frustrated right now. So, lots of great ways to help out the channel. Have your voice heard, your question answered, all that jazz, and hopefully not have me have to say the word super chat too often. Super chat, and say super chat and not have anybody hear me because my audio is too low, or there's a thumping noise when there's no thumping noise going on over here. You know how it is. So. Taurus 69, $2, 75 likes, 126 watching. Hit the like button. Yeah. So anyway, it's like Windows is playing with his game. Sure. You sound fine. See, some people say I sound fine. Other people say they can't hear me. That kind of shit frustrates me. Even on my live last night, people are like, "Oh, I can't hear you." And other people are like, it sounds perfectly crystal clear. It's fine. So I guess that's better now. I'll move the mic closer, but whatever. So sorry, guys.
So if you want to help us out, you can do so. Also, there's all cool links down in the description of every video, so check it out. Get some just cool like Teesprings, Trekyards merch, stuff like that. And save yourself money on Eagle Moss ships as well.
So, Stuart, what is your overall thoughts on this episode now in our full, detailed, spoiler-filled way?
I thought it was great. It felt like a lot happened, and it did. It was a good length, and a lot of characters that, their characters actually shone through. Like Raffi was really great, and even Girardi, she was kind of a hollow shell of what, but she's a hollow shell of a person at this point, so it's fine. I think everything kind of worked out well as far as, like Seven coming back, and even Eleanor I think was kind of good in this episode. I really like that. So anyway, lots of cool stuff in this. Plus we got to see, the Borg almost get reactivated. That was neat. And we got a little glimpse of a ship, kinda. We got Rios's backstory, and that was great, finally, after all this time. So that was awesome. And hopefully we get to see a fleet or a squadron, I guess, at some point, of Federation starships. And the fact that Admiral Clancy was kind of like almost, well, she said she was sorry without saying she was sorry, and she's sending help for Picard, I thought was great. Although whether she is or not, I don't know. She might have been, talked to by Commodore O, and they're telling them that they're sending help, but they're not actually sending help. So we don't know the situation there. And
you can even, although in a cop-out, to actually have the holo signal actually be O, in fact, but masquerading as the Admiral.
Yeah.
A very simple thing there.
Well, yeah, it could be easy to do a holographic overlay, right? So.
Yeah. And how do you think this compares to the rest of the season?
Well, it's better than the first like 5 episodes put together, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
It felt like a piece where we got answers. Sure, we got a few more questions, but we also got a lot of resolution for a lot of things, or at least steps in that direction. We only have 2 episodes left, so I don't know. I hope they can wrap it up at one neat little bow. I did like seeing the interactions between a lot of the characters, like Rios and Raffi, and all of the holograms showing up was a fantastic surprise, which was my favorite scene of the whole thing, really. So there was a lot of good stuff in this one for sure. So I'm looking forward to seeing more.
It's definitely top 3. Last week's episode was I think both of our favorite one for many reasons. Although it was the same. It was the Riker and Troy show. This one is actually back to the main plot. The fact that this is top 3 shows how good I would agree. I think it's in their top tier. I said this last 2 weeks though. It's better because it's more focused. It knows what it's trying to do. It's not padded. It builds on things. It evolves things, answers questions. It gives us good character motivations. Picard gets more to do. They all get more to do. There isn't wasted time. There's people having powerful conversations in interesting ways for 54 minutes. And that's what Trek is often. Whereas in the first many, we didn't get anything. And also felt less dystopian. So than our other review. But this, you wouldn't, beyond the fact that this could have been like a DS9 episode in terms of they just took a, merchant ship and it was some of the crew, It was a crew on a spaceship working properly together. Even Rios, didn't go as far sad, drunk, lonely as he could have. He got a bit of a slump, he got out of it. Brilliant. Girardi didn't dwell on the sadness, got out of it. Brilliant. So it was much more focused and much more Star Trek. I mean, that's the sad thing about it. This was a much more thing, and it shows you that they could make good content, but they just didn't quite write a beginning that was appropriate. And yes, you can start in a certain place and build from there, but hey, at least it can end strong. Discovery Season 2 started strong, ended weak. This one I think is going to start weak, end strong. So good for them. And yeah, a lot of good stuff. And I said in my predictions that there's a lot of things they could have done wrong very easily, pitfalls, and I don't think they did any of them. Honestly, I think they really skirt the line, and it's a thoroughly entertaining, interesting bit of content, which respects the universe, includes new bits, does a few clever things. It's a good bit of TV. It's the only thing that still maintains is the boring as hell art design. That's the only thing that still lets it down. Every scene on the ship looks boring and generic. That's the only thing that's keeping it down. You know? Like when Picard and Soji are eating, like there's nothing to look at. It's the most boring set. So if that was actually a Star Trek set, you'd be like, oh, okay, like into 10 forward, you know, just little things would. But that was created months ago, you know, years ago. So that's the only thing that when you spend so much time with the characters, you realize how boring the environment is. That's the only negative, really. And that's not to this episode specifically.
Yeah. Fiddlehead's $2. I called the reason for the submatrix collapse. Yay me.
Yes.
Yay you. And Mark Lawrence, $5. Good to see you, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Just dropping in for a sec, watching an emergency board meeting for
Oh, wow.
my school district. Yeah,
seriously.
Quincy, or Q1NNC, €5.
Thank
Does
you.
anyone else think the outline of the USS Ibn Majid is on the case look like a sovereign class ship? I thought it did at first, then it looked like a little bit more of a beefier sovereign class, maybe a refit.
And then I pointed out, it looks like the Emmett Till that John Eves designed and sort of used for the DS9 documentary.
But
really,
slightly different.
But really, and watch our video tomorrow, it's basically a Sovereign across the Discovery. That's what it is. That's basically what it is, for better or for worse. I think the camera's a little bit out of focus, Stuart. I don't know if you want to...
Probably.
Just a tad. Yeah, I think it's a little better. Let me see if it didn't...
Anyway.
But yes, we got a new ship, sort of. I think the video tomorrow is called We Got a New Ship Tease. Because of what it is, I don't know, I think we're going to see at least something similar next week. But yeah, no, I think this is I don't know about you, Stuart, but for some reason this episode, my gut feeling is it's not my favourite. Or best. But I don't think there's much wrong with it. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's not quite hitting that same level to me. But why? It has more story, it has more characters, or does this one, do you think, might be your favourite?
No, I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
See, there you go. Yeah.
One of the last two would probably be my favorite. Just trying to think which. Yeah, we'd have to go back at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Kind of determine that. But yeah, it didn't feel like my favorite, but it did feel like a good hour of Trek. Yeah.
Honestly, the crew feel makes such a difference. Oh my god. You don't realize how much you miss a crew until you have a crew. Watching these characters interact on a ship, that's part of the magic of Star Trek. You know? You don't quite realize until you're given it.
Yeah, we actually got some Picard moments where he sounds like Picard. He's giving like speeches saying, you know, fear is why they see things the way they do.
Yep.
We have curiosity, and you know, it's all in your interpretation. So I love that. I mean, that's what Picard is. So
yeah, I think he definitely captured far more of the Picardness that he has. I mean, it's great. They're upping the bar. You know, they're actually upping the bar finally in Picardness anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes. The expositional Secret of the Universe stuff. Finally revealed to us. Dum dum dum.
Yeah, there's some nice visuals for sure at the beginning. And we get the octenary star system, whatever the hell it's called. We don't know that yet, though.
Well, we can still talk about it. It's fine.
Well, yeah.
Yes, a thing not made in nature, sort of magic. It's a really weird visual to start with, but yeah, we pan through that. We get a planet, Aya, the grief world, with an unknown races, whatever, and you have lots of Romulan women around a very color graded to be orange thing with a pool and a green thing, and oh my goodness, it's O. She's talking to everyone.
And Neris, I think, is her name. The other Romulan chick. And also here is Ramda.
Oh, and this is 14 years ago. So this is right before Mars. At the end of this thing, they do say we're going to Mars. This is like right before.
Yeah. Yeah. So, got all these women, and it's basically when you put your hands on this thing, you'll get a vision, and if you're strong enough to survive, you can join our cause, the Zotvash, and whatever. So they all, touch the ring, and they all get these visions. And it's weird because one of the visions, unfortunately, is an android face that quickly morphs into Data's face, which I thought was a little out of place, but whatever. They're trying to remind us that, hey, Data, we had him.
Yeah, it's a weird set of visuals. And there's also a dying fox.
Yeah, it's from the 9 Inch Nails video where like the maggots are eating it.
Wait, actually the same? Do you mean the same clip? Literally.
Oh yeah, it's the exact same clip. Yeah.
Oh.
We also it's dead, and then you see the maggots, like it bubbles, and then the maggots come out, and it's just like a sped up version of the decomposition.
Great. And we see some lovely little shots. I think we're going to see more of this, or at least in season 2. So we see hidden planetary stuff. We see things collapsing. We see there's a green energy thing activating next to a red sun, which is interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
Maybe that's the way they move the planets, maybe?
Ooh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what that is, because it shows up twice. And it looks a lot like the Northern Lights as seen from space. But I don't know what it is.
The visual I like the most is the fetus, because to me that says that the synthetic androids, they got the ability to reproduce organically, and therefore they didn't have to be made, they could be grown by themselves, and therefore they lost control of controlling them, and they could probably choose to grow quicker, and it became a plague of synthetics. That's what I took from that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because it's the same stories with the augments. They were stronger, faster, smarter theoretically, and every time we saw them, they always try to say, well, we're superior, we try to take over. So if synthetics are faster, stronger, smarter, and can self-replicate, I mean, they beat all organic life by default. And what if one of them gets born and says, you know what, organics are really shit, let's kill them all. All right. And it's easy, as we've often seen Data and such take over things really easily. So I think that's the secret to why they lost control, which would make sense, though, that as you evolve, you'd want to be able to, like, give something back to the universe and whatever. So I can see, the synths wanting to breed, to make more. And they're like, oh dear, let's not be able to do that, please, says the Romulans. Oh, no, well, not Romulans, the other unknown people, but...
Well, 207 people here. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Get to 150 easily for sure. And let's focus on some of the super chats. Troy Macy, $2. They actually felt like a crew, and that's very important. I think that's 100% true. Fleetpaw Swiftback, $1.99 or $2. Not a fan of tying the Zotvash to the Vulcans. Well, they didn't, though.
Sorry, what was the comment?
Fleetpaw says not a fan of tying the Zotvash to the Vulcans.
Didn't at all.
No, they didn't. Just that Commodore O is half Romulan, half Vulcan, but
yeah, and they don't give us the sense of thousands, because remember the only information we got of the of them was based on the rumors that they came thousands of years ago. But based on this information, I would assume that no, the Romulans found this planet by themselves after they split. They did some exploring and they found it. Especially as they obviously moved to a different part of the galaxy. Because if the Romulan Vulcan joined people, if they found this planet, that would imply it was close to Vulcan than Romulan, given they're quite far away. And if the Romulans had to make pilgrimages back, they have to go through Federation space, Vulcan space. So it makes more sense they found it after the purge. That to me would make more sense, personally.
Yeah.
At least timeline-wise, that alleviates a big thing. Because how, take a lot, I would assume, for a ship to survive the gravity of 8 suns.
Yeah, be careful navigation for sure.
But I gotta say, I really like this scene. Actually, it's interesting, it's graphic, it's symbolic, it's well acted. It gives me a lot of answers. It was a very quick, straightforward opening. I like the graphic nature of people beating themselves to death. It's you know what I mean? It's but the parallel, the contrast is so great of seeing whatever her name is, the Nerissa, the sister, silently taking it in and crying, and everyone else is murdering themselves or killing themselves. Like that's tells you everything you need to know. You know, I think you said in our other review, she's the psychopath that can take it. Everyone else can't.
Yeah,
She's just a psychopath. It's like, I'm fine with this. Let me use it to kill people.
Yeah. Eugene, 250 rubles.
There you go.
I wish they would go with Kotrick Archive, but this is literally the Protheon beacon. When I try to remember the vision in memory, it goes with sounds from Mass Effect.
Oh god, that's yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I mean, it is still a Katra, just, you know, but it's also exactly like the episode of Voyager where they find this old war memorial which poisons everyone's brain and they start reliving the war as a memorial, but it's faulty. You know, this has happened multiple times, multiple episodes, so this idea is nothing new or special, but I prefer it not being a Katra because that links it to Romulans. Having it be a distinct alien race, that opens it up, because I was always against the Borg being created by the Romulans, Vulcans, whatever. I was always against that. Now, maybe the 200,000 years ago, this alien race created the Borg in some freak accident. I'd rather not have the information there, but maybe. Or maybe, what if, Stuart, going to another tangent here, what if that race was so powerful and their AI became so good they created the V'Ger planet? Like, the AI that were sent away, they created the V'Ger planet, and they created the Borg, so it's kind of like it is then through, you know, not that they have to link everything, but the fact is aliens are always good because you can create your own mythos. And no, I thought it was a smart thing, and I was relieved, Stuart. I was really relieved for the scene. It didn't hurt my mental canon stuff. I was like, okay, good, fresh slate. I like it.
Dylan Thomas. So welcome, Captain.
Dylan,
Good to see you, sir.
Outrank me, you crazy man. I like it.
Jeff Jacobs puts in 119 sweet again at
Brilliant.
150, but we need 200 plus. Hashtag make pay.
Click that like button.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tom Casey puts in $5.
Thank you.
A longtime follower, new to Super Chat. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Tom. Much appreciated.
Much appreciated. That's what I was going to say. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We will try to keep up the good work. Yeah. Tony Paparoni puts in 250
Hey,
rubles.
good to see you again, Tony.
Picard completely forgot about Elnor. Seems to have. Or he's just written off as dead. So.
I mean, he knows what happens when you're stuck in a Borg cube. Bad things. No, it's true. Yeah, Picard is very calm in this episode despite everything going on. Yeah, no, I've actually forgot that. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
Because you would think it's in a signal to Hugh and ask what's happening and all the... Yeah.
And Fiddlehead says, Elnor did say because Hugh was in a hopeless situation. Called it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we did too. Still a little bit daft, but we'll get there when we get there. But no, I mean, I really like this opening scene. I think it was actually rather good. Do you think so too?
Yes. Well, we called it was going to start this way with this flashback, but we weren't sure exactly when this was going to take place. I didn't expect 14 years ago, or to see Ramda and whatever there. Ramda wasn't a surprise to see, so
it was good. Again, this whole episode speaks to me, and it was written by Michael Chabon, showrunner. So that I think is important here. This whole episode reeks of self-restraint and respect to canon, and they don't always do that. Self-restraint. It's important. It was good.
Yeah. So Ramda doesn't really commit suicide, but she does lose her mind.
Well, no, I don't think she does. I think she almost loses her mind. I think she's on because she still works after this, just not maybe as effectively.
Yeah. Telma ML says, "Who was the beautiful flower they were talking about? That was the male android or synth organic that came on the ship with Jana."
And I'm sure we're gonna see I'm sure he's gonna walk up to Rios and
he's gonna look like Brent Spiner.
I mean, that's a big call. No, we're going to see the same model. Number 6. Or number 4, or number 1. Lucy Lawless is going to come back. Oh, wouldn't that be great? As the first model. Data's first daughter. Doesn't matter. But yes, then we cut back to the present. In the exact same room. Now it's a single person quarters, sick bay. The room that does everything. And this is actually a surprisingly good scene. For the character that has been consistently just snidey, sexual tension with her own brother, serving no purpose, they dumped on her all this bonusness, you know?
Yeah, I was actually surprised that I liked this scene because I don't like this Romulan character. Ramda, I don't really get to haven't known her really.
Yeah.
But I love the explanation here. You know, Rhonda's like their aunt. She took care of them after their parents died.
It's nice. It's cute.
And yeah, she's like, I wish you could have, like, I wish your delusions wouldn't have, you know, gotten in the way, and you caused the Borg to basically submatrix collapse. They picked the wrong Tal Shiar ship that day. They should have picked mine, because I would have liked to be in a Borg. Resistance is futile. Like, it was pretty interesting, and I don't like this character, so I didn't expect to like anything about this scene. But it was well played. Like,
you know what happens, Stuart? When you give them depth and good writing,
that's what it is.
That's the secret sauce. Depth and good writing. And yeah, we get the answer. This is how the Borg cube went a bit haywire. And again, we've got episodes on this coming later, so do check out those during the week. But yeah, Romda's fear, darkness, madness corrupted the Borg cube enough for it to go haywire. And as I said now, one of our reviews, that I think it's more of a domino effect, that she caused a glitch, a problem, and that then caused other things to go wrong. It wasn't like she didn't like Super Saiyan, the energy, and the whole thing shut down. No, it was like a virus, and it got through, and it started, you know, think small, go big. But yeah, and it wasn't intentional as well, which I kind of like, because we called it might have been.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that at all.
Where is my... Hold on, I'm just getting my...
Wow.
So I can call 7.
Well, who gave that to you? Because that's pretty fancy.
Techno Micah, that's his name. Yeah. Anyway, Quincy puts in €5.
Thank you.
This week I watched Wrath of Khan in a theater, and I met William Shatner after in Dublin. Nothing to do with this episode, just bragging.
Brilliant.
Well, every right to brag. That's awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go to one of those at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking a mic, I will do. Been a bit busy, as you can imagine, with all the edits.
I can send it to him if you want, but I just didn't want to send it without your knowledge.
Yeah, well, we'll have a conversation, because I was very impressed by the com badge you made. That look, I mean, obviously all the stuff, but that was like, oh, this is cool. Yes, I'll talk to you about it. It'll be cool.
Cool. All right, so that was a great scene. Then we move on to, did you find what does she call him? I forget what she calls it.
The Abomination, something like that.
Yeah. And I love how they say, yes, he's in, the former director's office. So it is Hugh's office. We finally got an answer for that.
Hugh somehow imparted the location of his office and how to get there before he died. Because he thought his office was the most important place to be.
Using the tubules.
That'd have been a fun payoff. Yeah, I'm not sure why he thought the office... to get the Rangers symbol, it all feels so coincidental. And boy, is it a crap office. And then, so very, very instantly, grenade, Elnox gets fuzzed, and then despite being subdued, and this played worse than the second time, they hand-to-hand him despite him having swords. And I know you can't stun, but maybe you get a custom stun gun from your archive that I'm sure you've got somewhere. Because it feels so weird for these guys just to run at a guy with a sword who clearly shoot the man. He's even got a gun raised, so it feels a bit of a dumb, weird action scene that feels worthless sort of scene.
Yeah, that's all it was, because, you shoot him in the leg or something.
Well, just shoot his leg off. He starts to answer questions. And then it's kind of funny that he beats up these first two guys easily, and then a very Chinese Romulan comes in and kung fu's him. It's like, wow, you had to hire a really Chinese-looking guy. I love that. I don't know if we've ever had a Chinese Romulan before. So that they have all the different ethnicities, which is just fun, and it's very very kung fu style little fight there. And again, it's just like, okay, sure, this is a bit boring, but okay.
But they subdue him. They get the cuffs on him, and all of a sudden
they don't. There's like an electrical sound effect, but it's not. It's just like rip ties. But there's like a sound effect, but it's not. It's just a tie.
Wow,
it's weird. Doesn't matter. But yes.
And 7 comes in, saving the day, blasting everybody.
How?
I don't know. We don't know how she got there, how she got through the defenses, how she beamed aboard. But we don't need to know that, because we need to move this story along.
With J.J. Abramsing it.
Yes.
This was a Kurtzman thing. No, it does. It feels so random. It really does. It's a Deus Ex Machina. Deus Ex Machina. It's oh look, we found the secret passcode at the last minute. because you're right. How did her ship, not cloaked, get into Romulan space, breaking a treaty, get to the Borg cube without being detected, get through the shields without being detected? The cube is currently in a state of emergency because of Elnor. Get through that and find him and knows at life science he's also Romulan, and I guess that's the signal thing. But yeah, all the things to get onto the ship. Now I wish they just said, how did you get here so quick? Because this is like the same day. This is like hours. This is the time it takes them to work out which office he's in and not. So this is within minutes, probably maybe an hour. So and it took a long time to warp here, relatively speaking. So it falls quite flat. It's kind of like when the whole fleet arrives in Rise of Skywalker, and you're like, how do they get, was every single ship in the same place? Because if they spread across the galaxy, how they all possibly converge at the same time to then also get here at the same time in one big... But so I wish they'd said I use a Borg interlink beam node that I was given access to, the emergency thing. That would have been great, but whatever. Could have done with one line.
Yeah, well,
one line.
I didn't. Yeah, could have, but I didn't have a real issue with it. I thought it, moved things along well, and it was fine.
There's so much good that a few small things don't hurt it.
Yeah.
It just does stand out as a plot hole, and it can be fixed.
And Tony Paparoni puts in 200 rubles. Thank you very much. Off topic. Script leaks reveal Rios is a hologram.
And why would you say that?
Because I think that's bullshit.
I mean, there's no evidence that he is, given everything else we've seen. So
yeah,
I would say no, he's not. Because I mean, leaks so he's the fake. You just say I've got a script leak. And besides, it's 2 more episodes, so why would you bother? Like, they haven't said he's a hologram. They haven't built him up with that. He's been off the ship. Yeah, it doesn't.
He's received medical attention. He received an injection. There's lots of.
Although someone out to you in the previous stream that he lost his scar, but that's because they forgot to apply it again.
Yeah, because it was pretty healed right away. But
yeah, no,
anyway.
I can't see it. The joke is other holograms, not him being a hologram.
Yeah. Fleet Boss Swiftback puts in $1.99.
Thank you.
7 used for Borg codes to beat the defenses, probably. Sure, but they're Romulan defenses after this amount of time.
Exactly. I mean, I can imagine that there's emergency override stuff, I guess, but you would assume they'd spend 14 years to make sure that they have their own stuff. So yeah.
I gotta say too, the moment where Elnor hugs Seven, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was raised by strong women, so that just makes awesome sense. Plus, he knows her. So it was a great, nice, touching moment, which you wouldn't expect from an action hero kind of guy. And I thought that was really well played. So because he is still young, and this is his first time away, so I have no issue with that. So a lot of people have been complaining that it was kind of dumb, but I disagree.
No, it's fine. It's he wears his expressions on his sleeve, and he's like, "You just saved me. I was going to die here. Thank you so much. I really like you because you're one of the 6 people I know are nice." It's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And it's quick. A lot of these moments are quick, but enough. Yeah. They have a lot of stuff in this episode. Speaking of, they beam in, and Rios' reaction is like, what? And this is a nice little curveball that is good. It's a nice little okay. His reaction and the audio is like, what, it's like, can you hear me? Hello? Rios. Yeah. And it's good. I like Picard. Picard is much more in the zone this week. Much more. But it makes sense. He's got told by Riker and Troy, be Picard. And he's like, Rios, order us on here. Excuse me, Rios, do it. He's like, what? The whole vibe is much more full on, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Although you would think, knowing the storyline, he would react more actively. He wouldn't be like, oh my god, I'm leaving. He'd be more like, what are you doing here? I know it's meant to be a slow reveal, but knowing it, you would think you would do something else right now if you were him.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
No, it was good. And I gotta say, if you progress a few pictures where Picard is talking to Soji and they're facing each other, is it just me, or does Soji feel like she's older? She looks older, she looks more mature, she doesn't look as baby-faced.
Got a pointier chin there. I don't know.
Well, she's always got a pointed chin, but just the side of her face, she just looks a lot more
grown up.
Did I?
Jarzia, $5.
There you go.
I think part of Elnar's hug was that he was just glad to see her alive. Where we last saw her, she could have well been dead.
True.
Yeah.
But speaking of almost being dead, they have this conversation. What's his name? Rio says, "Look, I'm going to take you there. Starbase 12 is the closest starbase. That's important, guys.
Deep Space 12.
Deep Space 12 is the closest one. That's why. And obviously they're in the... Well, they're not in the neutrals anymore, but they're... Whatever.
Beta quadrant.
Yeah. And then... But I'm done. That's it. So he walks away, and because I'm going to show you to your bunk. It's all good. And then Raffi goes off the deep end a little bit, points the gun at them. And I love Picard's... If you're going to use it, shoot me. And she's like, oh... okay, I'm not really going to. Like, I like the little power play there because Picard's in control of the situation. He's being Picard. Good stuff.
Yeah, but great way to make a good first impression, Raffi. You dumb
Well, she
shit.
says hi first.
Yeah, but this is the whole, you all you know about her is a neuron. That's it. Just one neuron.
It's true. It's true.
You already brought a homicidal maniac on board.
What?
I mean, again, it's talking down to Picard. And he's like, fact or theory? Theory. It's like, yeah, exactly. Let's go.
But he's still in control. Because I can imagine he says that when he was on the Verity, he said that all the time. Oh, Raffi, fact or fiction? Oh, no, fiction. Oh, yeah, that's good. Well, let me know when you have some facts. Yes, that's a game they played because she's all about conspiracy theories.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I mean, it's right, though. We don't know her. He doesn't know her. She doesn't even know her. And yeah, they think she killed Maddox.
Who is we? She says, we think she killed Maddox. He's like, who is we? And then it's right to the next scene, which is great.
That is the EMH, yeah. That's a good we. Because boy, she is a fan of the EMHs, or the fan of the holograms. She's holo friendly.
271 people here.
Oh, brilliant!
Everybody, make sure you hit that like button.
And guys, do super chat if you want your comment or question to be heard. Very important for us to do the show, and every $5 makes a big difference.
And Lizzie says she would have picked up a bigger gun, but Picard gave them to 7. Yeah.
Actually, they're still there anyway. They got more guns, don't worry. But yeah, that's funny. It's a rocket launcher.
So we are down in sickbay now, and the EMH is explaining that she deactivated him, and that she turned off the cardiovascular repair system that was helping Maddox survive.
Because he could have lived. Could have
been fine. Yeah. Telma ML puts in $2. Most beautiful characters in Star Trek. Fee or male? Oh, you're asking who are the most beautiful characters in Star Trek? Oh my God. That's a tough question.
Let me Google women in Star Trek.
That's a stream for another day. Dr. Helen Noel from TOS is right up there. But anyway, that's getting off topic a little bit. Double Guitarist throws in €2 with no comment, but thank you very much, Double Guitarist. Much appreciated. There's been a lot of beautiful people in Star Trek, so that's a very tough question.
Yeah. It depends also what age in the show and when in the show, because they all change quite drastically, a lot of them.
Pulaski was kind of cute when she was younger in TOS, but not so much in TNG.
I'll have to get back to you.
That'll be a stream for another day. The most beautiful people in Star Trek. Let's discuss.
Yeah. Wow, so many options. Sorry about so many.
Yeah. Well, here too, they also explain about the tracker, how she nullified it, and then Picard's like, "Well, maybe she didn't know she had a tracker." They're just like, "Oh, for Christ's sake."
Well, it's a fair point. I mean, O might have injected her without her realizing. I mean,
but the way he stands up for her, I know he's been away, which I like. He was not aware of everything that's happened. So I kind of get it, but it felt really weird. And it was quickly dismissed and forgotten. So, yeah.
See, I thought it was perfectly in character is that he vouched for her. So he's going to, first of all, try to justify, find the logical explanations first, and then because she was his pick. So I have no problem with it. And he doesn't ask stupid questions. He's just trying to, narrow it down. It's still a supposition at this point. Although it is dumb the way they explain how why the EMH doesn't tell them that she killed him, because no one asked, basically.
Need to know basis. You didn't need to know.
Yeah, she didn't. Remember, everyone kept saying, "Oh, she must have." We also had plot hole. People defend say, "Oh, she must have hacked the knowledge," and I was like, well, "She probably can't do that." And no, she can't. She didn't. Just didn't think to tell people. Hey, he's not the best doctor. None of the best at what they do. Have you seen the ETH, the fighter hologram? He's not the best tactical. ETH, tactical, and the one he hates is also not the best. He's a bit
The emergency hospitality.
He's a bit intense.
Kind of gets in your face. Yeah. John Riches puts in $5.
Thank you.
Second episode to feel like an actual Star Trek episode. Really starting to like Picard now. Yeah.
But if it started here.
Oh yeah. If it would have started like 2 or 3 episodes ago, and got off to that kind of start, I think it would have been a way different reception from a lot of people.
And do you know how I kept saying at the start, I would love to re-edit it? At this point, I wouldn't need to re-edit these. It's just the first 6 or first 5 to sort of, because I think just making them 50 minutes make a big difference. This is the appropriate length. Seriously. And in fact, don't know if you noticed this week, they were like still doing hardcore content until like 1 minute to go. It was like right there. It was good. It's good.
Yeah. Fat Produce puts in $5.
Welcome.
Wow, she really ended up killing Maddox over the flimsiest evidence. Yes. It's in her mind, though.
But I mean, she's feeling it. She's sensing it. It's hard to, you know.
It drove others to kill themselves when they saw it. So,
although I'm sure that she controlled what information she gave over. So it was, and that's why I think that when we get to the point of redemption, that we can argue that they got the raw bias from the old civilization, but now she's getting the bias of O on top of that in a very like only what you need to see way. So she's, you know, it's like there's 2 sides to every story. She's only getting the very, very specific Roman perspective that they've then been trained, hence why she can be redeemed, because she's getting just a certain bit of it.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs, 256, 156. Nice. I will go again at 200, but we need 293. Ooh, 294 of you here. Everybody hit that like button if you haven't. Just a little thumbs up. It's easy to do. So please hit it. Helps.
Great question, Paul Johnson. He's a member of the channel. Thanks so much. Trekyards, how does mind block or psychic block work? She can't talk about it, but by saying that, she's not talking about it. She then gives Picard a lot of detailed information considering she can't talk about it. And yes, later on she kind of said a lot.
Yeah.
Doesn't really mean much.
It could be that it's wearing off, that it didn't last very long, that it wasn't initiated properly, but she couldn't talk about it originally. And we've seen that a lot in Star Trek, actually, where people can't talk about certain things because it just creates too much pain, but they push through it. I can't remember any specific examples, but I know there are a few. So, I mean, I just assume it didn't take hold as well as it's supposed to. And maybe now that, you know, she's basically put herself into a coma and come back, it's kind of jolted her system maybe as well. So,
and I can also imagine that because now she couldn't talk about it when no one knew about it. When people are saying things, just like the holograms, they know a bit of information. They sort of say something without realizing, and so she's like getting fragments she can just mention, even if she's not actually aware of it. She doesn't give too much, just enough, and else it evolves. So I think, you know, as she can talk about it, she can talk about it rather than. Yeah, but I like the idea of the coma thing, which kind of knocked a screw loose from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good scene. I like Jolly. I like the hologram. This hologram I think is my favourite hologram. Something about him. I know he's English accented, which does help. But I like this hologram.
Fat Produce, $2. The Commodore is a member of the Psi Course.
Yes. That's good. Points for you, sir. Points for you.
Dimos Alves puts in $2.
Thank you.
Typically watch after hours. Nice to catch you live. Good to see you.
Thank you. And Dimos, what country are you from? It's an interesting name. Let us know where you're from. Or America, you've got a cool name. I mean, either way. Now the next scene, Stuart, is it as satisfying to you as it is to I think a lot of people?
Yes.
Why is that, Stuart? Give us some context.
Well, I love how Picard's trying to justify his actions, why he needs what he needs, and she's basically like, "Shut up! I've already decided that I'm sending a squadron. Like you got the help. Just shut the hell up.
Stop rubbing it in." Yeah.
Sorry, shut the fuck up. But yeah, it was great. She never offered an apology, but she basically said, "You were right. I'm sending the stuff."
Yep.
Without saying that you're right.
Yep.
And I like that. There's a respect there now, which wasn't there before. It's kind of like okay. But again, I don't know if this is her, if this is Commodore O using a holographic overlay, whether O got to her and said, "Just tell Picard, we'll send him help. Just let me know where he is so I can send my people after him." I think that might be the case as well. So I don't know what's going on there. I hope that she's just being, an admiral for a change. I don't know. I hope it's good.
And Dimmer says US. Cool. That's a cool name then. From Rhode Island. Yeah, this scene was a good one. And in fact, I was totally fine with Shut the Fuck Up. It felt right. It's such a fine line, but it added something to it. And I like that this is a true Picard scene, because compare it to his first scene with her, and he was being fine, humble, trying to get back in the saddle, and she was walking all over him. In this scene, he is in total control. Even when she says shut the fuck up, he is still in control. He's like, "No, you are a waste of space if you don't listen to me, because you know I'm right." She's like,
Well, he said that before she said shut the fuck up.
No, I know, but that led to her saying like he is in control, and it feels so apt. And note, she calls him, "Yes, Admiral Picard." People are calling that again. It's so subtle, but it's great, and this is what it should have been. But the thing is, that's where the contrast comes in. You need the first scene for you to hate this woman and hate this dynamic, to see it build, to get this. There's a good payoff, and I don't think we're going to see her now, having seen this scene in the next in the end of the season, but we will in season 2, and she'll be much more keen to listen to him, because she genuinely thought he was delusional, like senile, and he was very right about a very distinct plot that's hard to do. So if he says wolf again, she is going to run right for him.
Yeah. I love how when the call ends, he's like, "Yeah,"
which is from the trailer. That was an original trailer.
Yeah,
and also I also don't mind the holo communication in the holodeck as much.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah,
it's still real time across the galaxy. It's done Discovery, but it's far more logical in this room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ozzy Medeiros puts in $2. Did you guys know that Hugh directed this episode? Well, the actor that played Hugh, I guess. I heard that last night, but I didn't ever look it up. So.
Really?
The Ronin puts in $2. I like to imagine she just drops F-bombs constantly.
There was a lot of F-bombs in this episode. There was like
at least 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah. And the one from Girardi was very out of place and not needed.
What was her one?
I can't remember, but it was at the table, and it was just like, "I fucking won't do that again," or something like that. It was just it wasn't necessary.
Yeah. Also, his IMDb doesn't say directed this episode. Just let me go and have a look, because I don't. I would have noticed if it said that. So, the director's be an odd name, but.
James McGill, $1.99. Green lights on the cube. So happy, I feel assimilated. Yeah, we mentioned that later when they fire up all the alcos.
No, he didn't direct this one. Didn't think he did. It was Jonathan Delarco's Hugh. The person who directed this is Marja Varuvlo. So, sorry.
It's his pen name.
Sure. I mean, just use your real name, but okay. Let's look at IMDb, whoever this person is. Did 2 episodes, Impossible Box and Broken... Wait, yeah, they always do 2. I directed The Runaway Short Trek and Perpetual Infinity and Discovery. Oh, that wasn't a bad one. That was the mum reveal one.
Well, Stingfest Theory says, "Guys, I still think the Admiral will betray Picard. I think she might, but she won't be doing it because, knowingly. I can see her, getting screwed by Commodore O, who's head of Starfleet Security, who she trusts, and
at least did trust.
Inadvertently screwing him. Now they find out about O later in this episode, and Picard never, that we see anyway, messages Admiral Clancy to let her in on that. So
you gotta imagine he would have.
It would be nice if he did. And she's playing along with O or something to kind of catch her. That would be awesome to see in the background.
Well, the question is, where is O? Because if this is what her entire purpose was, to stop Federation androids, and here's another example. Would she be out? Is she going to be with the Romulan attack force. Is that going to be is she going to bring a Federation starship to the battle, and that'll be a fun little reveal of she's commanding a ship, she's got, override security. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Although I strongly have the vibe that the point of this admiral is to show the worst of the Federation and improve from it. That by the end she will be more like turned to believe in the good things, and they will see the good of the Federation through the change in her, and that'll be again why you can show this darkness at the start, because you're leading to the light that you need. I think that's a directorial decision. I think she'll absolutely be. She's been convinced through enough evidence to really buy into what he's saying, whereas originally she wasn't. 335 people watching, guys. Awesome. 170 likes. Guys, come on. 338. Most of you haven't clicked like. I want to see 300 likes right now. Seriously, click that like button. Amazingly important. But what happens next? What's the next scene then?
So Raffi goes and starts talking to the ENH and doesn't realize that he's groomed and has a accent, and thinks it's Rios.
She seems very stupid in this moment, for no reason. No, I was trying to watch it again and see how much is he talking. Can you tell he's got an accent? Like, is he just saying a couple of words? And you really can tell he's got an accent, but it's not until he says a very long sentence that she can tell. But it's instantly apparent, especially as he never sits in that chair ever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she plays it a bit dumb, which is weird.
He's like, "Hi, call me Enoch." That was great. But then she asks him about recognizing Soji. He's like, "Yeah, Jana is her name. No, her name's Soji." He goes, "Ask me about," and he says some navigation thing. And she's like, "Oh, by the way, I saw the Borg writing this symbol over and over again."
How? I still don't get why she would see that. It's so contrived. The plot would tell me that I saw this, therefore let's talk about it and get to the plot.
We did a whole video on it and we were wrong, but anyway.
Yes, we were. But there's no reason to think it was going to be suns. I mean, there's no evidence of that. So
8 suns are officially created. He said some 6 sun systems exist naturally. Very, very, very few. But that would probably have to be created artificially.
The other person says that.
Fiddlehead's $2. The Irish and Scottish EMH accents needed tweaking. I don't know. I thought they were great, but
yeah, I mean, it's more the generic version of the accent, but it does the job.
It's a future accent. It's changed a little bit.
It's also a programmed accent. Therefore, he wants his own certain dialect. He wants southern Scotland dialect. That's important. Mm-hmm. That's important. But this is fun, and it's genuinely awesome to see this character Raffi, who has had a really not good introduction, be able to spitball and bounce off not real people in unique ways, and have unique chemistry with all of them. It's satisfying, it's fun, and it makes the Rios actor so much more respect for him because he plays 6 good characters. And we called out Where Are the Holograms in the last couple, and so to see him back in force, super duper. Yeah.
Well, I like the explanation too that ancient Romulan star charts had this thing.
Yes,
but fun. The new ones don't. So it seems apocryphal. So the Zodvosh, the ancient Romulans, knew about it, and then they covered it up to, But I thought it was very well played. So
it's a nice statement that in the olden days it was a place that people noticed, but as soon as they decided to visit there, they found it and they took it off the star charts. It's good.
Yep.
No, it's good. This is a good scene. It's like I say, it's still a little bit contrived of how she got the information, and the fact that this guy knows all the information, because it means why didn't you just search the ship's computer? Like, it's all the same information. It's fun to talk to a person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good.
The thing I didn't like about this scene that they should have added is in the background there, they should have had somebody tinkering away on the floor, because the next scene she goes over there, but there's nobody. Like, it would be cool to just have that in the background. I was looking for it the second time I watched it.
Yeah.
And small thing, but whatever.
I mean, there is a scene in between implying time has passed, but yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Jim634 puts in $5 Canadian.
Thank you.
Forgive if it's been mentioned, but a nice detail is the theme tune used an extended version of Picard's son playing the flute in Inner Light.
Yeah.
Didn't notice that.
Oh yeah. So there's a it literally is just the sun in the dream. The second part of the song is the everyone knows bit, but the first bit is literally the Picard theme. The guy just nicked it without telling anybody, and left us to find it, and it's great. Yeah, it's a really nice touch by the guy. It's so effing subtle, but it's clever. It's not very memorable per se, but it's really clever. And so music invented in the 80s. That's great. That's great.
And Quincy puts in €2. The Irish accents are nearly as bad as Tom Cruise. Oh wow, not that bad. No.
I mean, Americans' accents are never the best, whereas English doing American accents tend to be a lot better. We have so many actors out there that you wouldn't think are English, and they are. Ha! But just the fact they can do that many accents, at least successfully, funly, an achievement, because that's a range, real range.
Yeah. I love how the scene ends too with "You're my favorite hologram," and he's like,
Doesn't it break your little hollow heart? This is the non-dystopian, clever, fun character stuff. We don't want to see her doing drugs. We want to see her kissing holograms because they're nice and she appreciates them as people. That's Star Trek. And we're getting it. It just took them a lot. And then, like I said, if I do re-edit, I will cut all the backstory about drugs out. Completely wasted.
Don't need it.
Screen time. Don't need it.
Yep.
It's weird.
Eugene puts in 500 rubles.
Yeah.
How did I miss the fact that these systems? How did I miss the fact these were system construction diagrams? They didn't match though. Octenary systems are possible, just haven't been observed yet. New Scorpi was found to be septenary just about 5 years ago.
Wow. Sweet.
Damn. And Torah69, $2, 200 likes, 333 watching.
Yeah.
So guys, I mean, they're calling you out for it, not hitting the like button. You know, people in the chat. So hit the like button.
Yeah.
Please.
At least we're over 200 though. At least you guys rose to that challenge. No, it's good. Next scene, very simple. They got phasered, Fenris Ranger. It can only be one. Nice, quick, efficient, good, easy, simple. Yep.
And then this again, Elnor is good here. He's like, so this is where the Borg Queen lives? No. Oh, so she just visits sometimes. It's like, pretty much.
And I appreciate.
Again, I like the way he acts. He acts very kid-like a little 12-year-old, you know, asking
with
questions.
A big sword and a big sword.
Yes.
No, it's good. Cause this isn't her chamber. It can't be. That's ridiculous. It looks terrible, but it isn't. Although I don't like the fact they still use this room, the same set, to connect her in, implying that she can control the cube from the room that is the transporter room. And I guess that makes sense if everything's a hologram, then you can make any control anywhere, but it sort of devalues the idea of controls. Because, you know, Seven has to walk up to things in Voyager, press a thing, press buttons. There's a space and a place for things. That's the point. If anything's a hologram, then just have a big blank room every room, which they do actually. But, and boy, Jerry Ryan's acting, like, it is difficult to act holograms. First time ever in Trek history acting holograms, like. But in reality, they're just doing to her movements. Like, she's just doing whatever she wants, and they're trying to match it. But yeah.
James McGill, $1.99. What do you think about 709 as a potential Borg Queen?
No.
I never thought it would happen, and it would just be a micro little collective, which was fine. I'm sure she would have let it go, but
yeah, it's not going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's fine. I mean, that's the. Like I said to you earlier, it's as if people read the bio of the Borg and not actually watched the episodes. And you think this could happen to her. It couldn't. Watch the show. It wouldn't. Not that sort of character. Nor that sort of role, being a Borg Queen.
And Jeff Jacobs puts in $2. 200 is great. But we should get to 340. Hit like.
Ooh.
Actually make Jeff pay.
That's
a challenge.
Challenge. Love it. Love it.
Do it.
And this is one of my subtle favourite ones. Not subtle, but it's one of my favourite small moments of the episode. Everything goes green.
Oh, yes. Everything powers up.
It makes such a difference, Stuart. It really does. and it means that it was deliberate to not have green. And I mean, we said very early on it doesn't have green because they turned it off, because they did. But boy, you add the green and it makes such an immediate improvement. So credit to them.
The next scene, well, not really, but like, first of all, what's her name? The Romulan lady. She takes the guy's disruptor. I'll need this, and she goes off. But then you cut to the outside, and we talked about this yesterday in our prediction video, where these are like little nanite ships on the outside of the Borg because it was started to repair itself. They actually had a line of dialogue saying the Borg was regenerating.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy about that. It didn't look at all interesting.
I mean, it makes sense in the sense of Borgs are made of nanoprobes, sorry. So why wouldn't their ship as a microcosm be nanoprobes? But they look like little ticks with glowing green things. I mean, what does that even mean? They obviously aren't on the whole time because you don't see these lots of green lights. Why even have green lights? It's a weird gimmicky image that doesn't really... The whole point of the Borg was that it could repair via sort of techno magic. You didn't have 50,000 little robot repair droids on the outside soldering things. It could sort of rebend and regrow. It was magic, amazing tech. So this kind of is a lot less advanced than any Borg we've seen before, which is weird.
And if you watch our episode on the Borg ships, we know there's little tubules that these little nanites roll through, and they start to repair things, but they can't be seen. They're very small. And that's why, like, in Best of Both Worlds, you see when it's behind them coming at them, and it's repairing itself like Christine, the movie Christine, with the pipes bending and stuff. It's like, it's kind of terrifying. Sure, they pan back to show that from a distance you can't really see them that well.
Yeah.
But it didn't really work for me, so...
Something about it demystifies. Although I appreciate when you zoom out, the different details of the cube look more interesting than the other shots we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it makes it less interesting. Although it certainly implies that the next Borg, next time we see the cube, it's going to be effing cube-like, and it's going to wreck some shop. So that's going to be interesting.
Shop, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a small thing. It's just not the Trek core that we are used to.
Yeah. Naysayer puts in 2 pounds. Too many F-bombs this episode felt natural to me. I thought it was one too many F-bombs, and that was Girardi's. Just didn't make sense. All the other ones were perfectly fine.
I've said too many, but yeah, not far off. I made a little laugh, though. James Roberts, beautiful comment. Are they going to make a short trek with those silly Borg repair drones next?
Probably.
Funny.
Then we get the Soji and Picard scene where they're eating, and it's the whole, I don't know if I like eggs, it's just is it my programming, or...
I don't know about you, but this felt... They went from some action things, and suddenly, stop! Let's have a very slow chat right in the middle for 5 minutes. It was like a sudden swap of pace. I don't know if you felt that. It was very like a hard, abrupt stop.
Yes, okay. Absolutely. But it was a good conversation, because they're talking about Data. Did you love Data? Well, he doesn't say yes. He says in my own way. And then he tells her about Data, how he made us laugh, unless he was trying to make us laugh, which is great. And then, because she asks, how would Data see you through his eyes? Like, how would you explain that? And it was great. And then she comes out to say, Data loved you. And it was a nice scene overall. But
it kind of if the series was different, it should have been like 4 episodes or 3 episodes ago in a slow episode rather than this episode. But it was lovely. Although it says a lot that Soji would say yes to have dinner with, or breakfast with Picard, because it's not that big a ship. So maybe he offered her, "Do you want to have lunch?" And they said yes, and they're having a chat. But it was a lovely scene actually. It was definitely written by a Star Trek fan, and it was a well tacked. Having Picard not give in, because it feels from the start like he's like Data was his best friend, but he really wasn't. He was one of his crew, and he grew to like him like the rest of us. But he wasn't that special, and so when he won't commit to saying I loved him. That's the sort of differentiation of. I mean, in my own way, I wouldn't call it necessarily love, but it was like there was a good Picardian barrier, which we weren't getting at the start of the season.
Yeah. Well, when I heard that, did you love him? I immediately thought to Red Letter Media's first review of the first episode. No, he didn't even like Data. They go through all the scenes where he's like, and that's why it was great when he said, in my own way, I was not very good at showing emotions, just like Commander Data.
Perfect, lovely. We said,
yeah. It was amazingly done. So I got to give him kudos for that.
And obviously, Picard knows that she holds a bit of Data's enough of his memories, in a sense, a ghost of them, that she can say, "Oh, I've known you for a long time." So when she says at the end, we've already had that set up. So when she says that, that was genuine. But the fact that he has emotion chip for a good fourth of his life, at a certain point, he could have grown to love him after generations. You know what I mean? He turned the chip on and off in First Contact, so he obviously had it for a good 6-7 years. So by the end, he might have loved Picard as a father figure. I'm actually fine with that. But it was genuinely sweet, and the lack of Picard commenting back is spot on. Brilliant. Lovely. No, it's good. It was a good, strong scene.
And Joshua Sawyer puts in $25. Thank you very much.
Yeah! Thank you. Sorry.
You guys are doing great. Awesome episode. Thank you. And then Tony Pepperoni.
Thank you, Joshua.
Pepperoni puts in 400 rubles.
Awesome.
And says, Star Trek F-bombs perfectly fine? Don't think so. Well, they're not, but for the context of this show,
there you go,
and how many times they've used them, the times they used them in this one seemed more appropriate, except for, I thought one, but Samuel thought two were a little too excessive. But I really wish they weren't there, but it's,
at the end of the day, we can judge the show in its own merits and based on the Trek universe, and I'd rather not have F-bombs, but they've already broken that boundary, and these are some much more appropriate, where you can say, okay, yeah, that was integrated well for what it is. It's still a darker, more whatever Trek, but they've improved the show. There's genuine improvement to the show as they're going on. Now at this point we can say that because it dipped for a bit, at least for me. Now it's sort of building up. I mean, I think in retrospect, Stuart, we're going to go back and review the first few way weaker compared to this, because now we're getting contrast.
Probably, yeah.
You're like, I think you're going to like them 7/8s, and they definitely don't deserve that now in comparison, because these ones are genuinely solid. Yeah, good scene. It was nice. Very, again, wrong episode and wrong point to put it in, but good episode.
Yeah.
Ooh, and look, we definitely get a detailed shot of the engines that isn't just lens flare. They've got a detail that you never ever see.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if they went vroom, 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 like the warp core? Wouldn't that be great if they did that?
Well, they do. If you watch some of the scenes, you see a little bit of pulsing from them.
But I mean, like the TNG one, like they go vroom into the middle. You don't need the big flares, just,
Yeah. But here we meet Ian. This is the emergency engineering hologram. I love this guy. And don't call me Lassie.
Oh, that's noted. Yeah. It's nice.
No, really great. And she asked him about first of all, about what's up with Captain Rios, and then asked him about the star system. And I love his response. He's like, well, it's not very likely. Well, why would somebody want to do that? I don't know. Just like, look what I can do. It was awesome. It was awesome. It made me laugh out loud the first time. So.
Yeah, it knows what it's trying to be, this script.
And did you notice the long shot where you see him from the side? He's got a gut. Like he's pushing his gut out because he's like...
Oh, yeah.
It's a subtle little touch, but I love it.
I also like his hair choice. It's down and then out the sides. He does look different. It's weird. Good
they all look different. Like the grooming of the mustache.
Well,
even some of them have darker black beards. Other ones have the gray in them.
And then the tactical guy literally lets his hair grow. And now you've reminded me. Can I call out one thing that is so effing subtle, but I wouldn't like. I'm not getting it from nowhere. I'm hearing it. I think they're using sound effects from TNG of the general ship sound effects in the background in this arena. I didn't hear it in any other episode, only in this one.
Yep.
And it's like at 3%, but you can definitely hear it, and in the medical bay as well. Like they're absolutely there, and it's like that is because wasn't there in previous episodes? Pretty sure that's a new thing.
I noticed them this time too, so I have to agree with you.
So the same speakers, they're good 5.1 speakers gone for Black Friday. And it does make a little bit of a difference. Just a little bit. Good job.
And Tony Paparoni puts in 200 rubles.
Thank you, Tony.
Are they going with the same story in season 2? Any information? No information yet. I think it'll be a continuation of this one, obviously. So I don't think it's going to be kind of like a fresh, clean restart as far as Picard back on Earth and everything's fine. I think it's going to be a cliffhanger. So.
And I bet they haven't started filming season 2 yet. I bet they're going to change. They're going to tweak it based on fan reaction to the ending. Because they need season 2 to be a bigger hit than season 1. And unlike Doctor Who, where they didn't listen to any feedback and the season, also was bad, I think they're going to wait and see. Because they don't need to rush into production necessarily, so I think they're going to wait and hear fan reaction. I mean, that's how Enterprise improved and TNG improved. I mean, fan reaction is really important. And we're going to give them some good notes. Wouldn't it be great if they just if this phoned us, so we can give them like a short list of things to just tweak, which they're already tweaking slowly by themselves.
Yeah. Now, the one part about the scene that bothered me was the end, where he says that it's very, very unlikely that would happen naturally, and she's like, I'm feeling something, Ian, with her hand. It's like, just stop that.
It's called acting, Stuart. That's her character.
No, it's not. It's like she's having a seizure, or she's like, oh my god, I'm sick. No, stop it. You can do it other ways.
It's what she's bringing to the role, Stuart.
But it's her putting all everything together in her mind, because she's great with conspiracy theories and seeing links where other people don't.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that part of it, but the hand thing really annoyed me. It's called being a cracked fiend. Yeah, I mean, that's because right away she goes and she wants a drink, and she wants red wine, and
that's
another
true.
great scene with the emergency hospitality hologram.
Well, that's actually a really good point, because I didn't even consider that, but in the context of what just happened, she's been told that it isn't the Romulans they're facing, in essence. There's someone else out there that can move suns and have them orbit each other in a phenomenon that's theoretically possible, but has never happened in the universe that we know of. That's technology level that is so beyond anything that we have, that obviously her conspiracy got a whole lot bigger and more dangerous. So I actually think that's really apt, actually. And we'll talk about that in our predictions, but I love your call out. It's in the edited review, so check out what you think that might be. But yeah, another great hologram scene. Another great hologram scene. Very different hologram scene, but a very good hologram scene.
I love this. Like, you locked yourself out of that. Well, then override it. And you locked yourself out of the meta override as well. That was great. It was great.
Which also tells us that she's committed to stopping. That's good. Good for her. She's past it, maybe.
Yeah. And then he goes on to say, maybe Captain Rios needs somebody to talk to that doesn't look exactly like him, only better groomed.
And maybe you should be the one that helps him, because, yeah.
That's terrifying, but yes.
Oh, it was terrifying. It was fun.
It makes sense. It ties back to what I fucking hate that hospitality hologram.
He doesn't understand personal space.
Yeah. No, I thought that was great.
And I also appreciate she doesn't say anything about it. She was sort of
Flops on the bed.
Yeah, because he doesn't mean anything by it. He's a hologram. He's just like intimate.
And his beard and facial hair is all black. There's no gray.
Yep.
Got a thicker mustache.
Well, it's more like a full connected thing, isn't it? Yeah. No, I like it. I love his outfit. No, what accent is he trying to be?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, another good scene, good build. Just stupid. It's just a good stupid. It's just a good stupid. Yeah, moving on. Books. First bit of Rios. First you get a sonic screwdriver, looks like anyway, in the in the bowl. And I've got a few of them, so I know that's pretty much what it looks like. And we have a lot of mermaids. He loves his mermaids. And
we knew that.
Yeah. And his booze. Loves his booze too.
Oh, I hate that scene. That bottle rolls away from him, and it's clear that there was nothing ever in that bottle, or it was cleaned. Because there's not even a residue, and even after you finish the bottle, there's, that pissed me off. It was too clean and pristine, but whatever.
They probably said, either we can CGI in some droplets, or spend the money on holograms.
Or just use a bottle and empty it, and roll it. Unless it's a CGI bottle that they rolled across the floor and they forgot to include that. Bradley Jarvis puts in $2. Disagree. They could have made it family friendly. Yeah, they could have, absolutely. But anyway, we didn't agree with the swearing when we first heard it, but as it's part of the show, we're just judging it based on how it fits in.
Because there's things about Discovery especially that you just can't accept because they're just not Star Trek. But you've got to judge it by its own merits. It's still the worst Star Trek show, but you can still give it an 8 out of 10 for its own season. Like, you have to think in both these terms, you know?
Yeah. Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $1.99. Hospitality Hollow had no concept of personal space.
Yeah.
Which is odd for a hospitality program.
Yes.
You want people to feel welcome, not like invade their personal bubble. And you notice he did it with Picard too.
Exactly.
But you never noticed it until this scene, and you're like, oh, thinking back on the other scene, he absolutely was.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
So here Rios goes into his chest. He pulls out his uniform, which everybody was asking me, oh, look at the Star Trek Online uniform. Isn't that great? Are you going to do an episode about it? This is the same episode that Admiral Picard and Raffi were wearing earlier on. And yeah, we've done quite a few episodes on the uniforms.
And they were good. Go back and watch them.
Yeah.
Now, you said, though, how many people actually said that? Because I can't imagine more than, 3.
I don't know, 3 or 4.
Okay, because most people, I'm sure, got it was an old one.
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me when I first saw this, though, was no commander pips on it. Like, I'd leave my pips on, but then you see the pips later in the cigar box.
But first of all, though, you get to see the ship tease.
I was getting there.
Okay, because that's past it, you see, so.
I know, but I was talking about the uniform with the pips, and anyway. But yeah, he pulls this thing out, which looks like it could be a phaser case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. Or like an operations or engineering case.
Yeah, and then we see the
Ibit Majo.
Yeah.
And there'll be an episode tomorrow at 5 p.m. GMT for this. So tune in for our full thoughts. This will be a very, very long video if we go into it in depth, but you'll see graphs, comparisons. It's a good one. But it's very nice to see it. We didn't need to see it, and it was good that it's a tease. It's definitely a wait and see sort of tease.
Yeah. Sci-Fi Nation puts in $5. Anyone else catch what they called the creators of the Admonition? Yeah. The Progenitors, another TNG throwback. Sorry I'm late this week, guys. I never heard them refer to them as the Progenitors.
They didn't. No, they said we haven't got a name for them specifically.
Yeah.
Well, they call them no name. We don't know the name of the species so far.
Yeah, we would have picked up on that. I've watched this a few times, so.
I know it's not a Sovereign class ship, the Landrum. Doesn't look like it very much at all. Just a new version. But I like this. And the fact that he has more rank pips than he needs. So I'm assuming that he might have either he took his captain's rank pips, or he keeps his ensign and then he's given another set of 2, another set of 3, rather than being given 1 more, maybe, because he has more pips than he would need.
Yeah, everybody he fired, he just took their pips.
And I don't know about you. I know there's a lighter there, and actually one of the people on one of the prop groups said, I already own his lighter. He's happened to have his lighter already. Love the com badge, cleared resin, clear scuffed up like it. Looks like mine. But on the top left, there's a little ring thing. That looks to me like a Wrath of Khan style back.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Is he old enough to be in Wrath of... No, because Picard's a good 30, 40 years older than him, and...
I would say no, but it could be his grandfather's, it could be his dad's.
Oh, yeah. That's nice, actually. Yeah, a souvenir from his old...
Yeah.
From his dad's
he does
old
say
costume.
He doesn't have a family later, but, I mean, it could be... this is something they passed down to him, and when he was young, a baby even, then they died. I don't know.
Because definitely, there's so few things in here that each must be special. Oh, speaking of, why the hell is it? What alien skull is that? It looks like Tyler Vox's baby's skull, almost. Why is there an alien baby skull?
I don't know. I wondered that myself.
It's such a distinct choice.
It was his old pet, and he just decided to keep the skull.
Jesus, his first hunt. I don't know. It was weird.
Stephen W. Fathry puts in $2.
Hey, Hassan.
I bet shooting on season 2 is delayed because of Corona.
Yes. but gives them more time to tweak it though.
Yeah.
And Captain K says Crate Dragon, Crate Dragon Baby, and Adam Saval. So apparently Picard served on the Reliant too. Already knew that. It was in a book.
We already knew that.
It was in a book, and they did it as part of the Picard Museum exhibition. So that's been known for quite a while. It's actually from one of the books. But it wasn't the Reliant, it was the next Reliant, once it got recommissioned post its destruction.
Yeah.
Because it'd be hard to serve on a ship that was destroyed.
Yeah. Mr. Trent 100, it's a mermaid skull. Maybe.
Jeez.
But here we get a picture of a young Rios and his captain.
Well, a young actor with a photoshopped face on it.
Yep.
That shows how different you can look without the beard and moustache. A lot different. Yeah, and that uniform does look good. I want to see more in it. I'm sad we passed it. Mm-hmm. Oh no! This is the, or is this the current day one? No, wait.
Current day what?
No, the current one is has the dip in the middle. Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to. Because we had two uniforms. I'm trying to think which is the current day one.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah. Lorenzo something. I always think Lorenzo Van Matterhorn whenever I heard his name, because that's the Barney Stinson joke, but that's not his actual name.
Let's see.
Then we get a reveal. Soji's face inside a drawing from a pack they had years ago. And that is a nice curveball. I liked it. It was good. It was a twist that you couldn't see coming because there's no evidence, but I like it as a concept. But yeah, back on the green. Looks a ton effing better. The set looks more 3D now with the reflections. It was missing lighting.
Yeah.
It's a ton better.
We see all the Borg that have been liberated on the one side.
Yeah.
She says these are the ones that are free, and later they start disappearing as they get killed.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I could, make a mini collective. It's just this cube, and Elnor's like, yeah, that sounds great. Do that, and assimilate them. Take away their free. Really? Anyway, and then once we win, you can set them free. They won't want to be set free, and I might not want to set them free. It's like, sure, really. Anyway.
Yeah, I had an issue with this especially. It's a misunderstanding of how the Borg work, how Seven works, and her journey. Because there have been many collectives, we've seen them, and people can function. In fact, I'm sure many of the Borg in that cube, if given the option, would rather have a small mini collective of 20 people just to kind of keep the old but have a new identity. We saw it in Voyager, we saw it with the Matrix Zero people. They want to be free, but they could function and not be murderous people with it.
Mm.
But she's been free for a long time. She has a very strong free will. If she gets all connected, they'll hear her thoughts, but she won't stop being her. It's not as if not as if you want to get into a Borg ship, the Borg take over. There is no Borg. The Borg is a voice, is a set of voices. But without the signal from the collective, we've seen it. As soon as they lose the signal from the collective, like you, he's Borg in autopilot, but he gets less and less Borg as he gets introduced to new ideas. It's the voice from the collective that keeps you in the Borg zone. So if she comes back in, her new voice won't trick them to be Borg again. They'll be thinking, oh, who is this voice? It's speaking really weird. Oh, I only hear 10,000 people. This is different. I have more thoughts myself. And the only rationale I can give for her saying this line is that she thinks with the power of a cube, she might think ends justify the means, and she'll use the Borg as defense to help the Rangers, so that she can use a cube powered by the drones to help shoot the villains who are attacking the old neutral zone. But she could do that without being in charge of the cube in the very Queen sense. I mean, we saw the drones after Matrix 01 in the sphere that helped Voyager track the tactical Borg cube. They were all disconnected. They controlled the ship without being one big drone unit. They were fine. They didn't need a queen. So it's a slight misunderstanding of how it all works, and I don't buy it for a second that it would whatever her. But I mean, whatever. It didn't happen, so move on. I mean, yeah, it bugged me.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding.
Yeah, it bugged me too. But anyway, next scene is my favorite scene, getting all the holograms together.
Yes.
And I love how she's like, this is just weird. This is maybe not a good idea. But We have five broken pieces of Captain Rios, so hence the name of the episode. And seeing them all try to, I don't know, it was really well done. I don't know how they filmed this, but they did a fantastic job.
I mean, it's easier than you think, especially with how far away they are from each other. It's more just good editing, good timing. But yeah, it's a crafted scene. Like, you can always see all the close-ups. There's more of one of them. They hide it very well. But yeah, it's a very achieved. My favorite thing about the scene, though, apart from it's fun, because it achieves that beautifully, and it's Raffi look good too. Like, Raffi plays really well in the scene, is that we're given a limit to how many holograms and who they are. This is it. This is the crew. These are what we can look forward to. I love them all. That's an achievement. That is a legit achievement. So well done them.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Jacobs, $2. Got our 150, but now we need 400. Hashtag make Jeff pay at 300. All right,
Damn.
so we got 300 likes. We have 400 people here. Well, 398, which is awesome. So welcome, guys. Everybody hit that like button. Moving to the Trembler, puts in $2. Vandermeer portrayed by actor, maybe flashback. Vandermeer portrayed by actor.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah, possibly. I was expecting a flashback during the whole scene where he's talking to Raffi, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll get there, certainly.
Eugene, 250 rubles. Damn, I would consider this to be the best scene so far. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was my favorite scene from this episode for sure. So
it was very Star Trek. It really was.
Yeah.
I know it's such a cliche thing to say, but it was good, and it wasn't too dumb. It was a very fine line, and they tread it beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that a TV show where there's like a assault course, and normally you have random people who can barely do it, and there's one like gymnast who just runs across the hardest bit, and it's like, oh, wow, okay, you did it, good job. That was this scene, and it's really good on a rewatch as well.
Yeah, kind of like a counselor session.
Yeah,
with different parts of your psyche.
Mm-hmm. But also, I didn't know everything. It wasn't an end all be all. It was a helping her get 60% of the way. She knew what direction to go to, because it wasn't so much. I don't quite buy that they would all have his genuine memories, so much as kind of like imprints of bits and bobs. And so they knew things by instinct, which is based on their personality program, but it wasn't in their memory banks. So that's what I'm taking from it. That's why I didn't know everything, but no, it's good. And in fact, the medical guy didn't know anything. He's like, no, I don't know anything.
That was established like with the hospitality hologram, where he said he overlaid his personality on all five of the generic ones. He said it was an accident, but then he went in and deleted some stuff. So you asked me the proper temperature for serving whatever tea. I couldn't tell you. He did it kind of haphazardly. So
I'm guessing he also deleted their sub abilities, like, because you assume one hologram can do most things if they've access to the ship's computer, but he might have deleted like the medical guy's access to Jazz, because then he's not full of everything. Maybe he wants them specific to their job roles so he can relate to them more. Yeah. And I like the fact that the Hippocratic Oath guy said, well, I might be against my programming here, but he had a bit of a breakdown after that.
Oh, yeah. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $2.
Thank you.
Favorite Rios hologram and why? That'd be Emmett, the tactical guy. Just because he's so like, yeah. I love the way he talks.
Spanish, fully Spanish. Doesn't go off Spanish. It's nice.
They're all amazing, but I'd say Emmett's my favorite.
And I'd say the medical guy. He's most relatable to me, like fun to me. Although I think the Scottish guy has the most personality. The navigation is the most like happy, and the doctor's the most relatable.
Yeah.
And the creepy guy is the most creepy. But he means well.
Yeah. And Rosetta Allen is here. She puts in $2 and says, I hate modern Trek, but I love supporting you. Hail, Trekyards.
Thank you.
Hail, Rosetta. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Chilean, he says. That was Chilean accent. He's always sleepy.
Yeah.
And Stuart, 388 people watching. We've almost doubled where we started, which is brilliant.
I love when they're trying to remember and they all hit their head at the same time. Brilliantly played, and exactly the same way too. Like
no, it's good. It's just a good scene. This is a scene that's worth watching for the entire episode. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Emmett's like shoots himself in the head.
Absolutely.
No, it's some good quality stuff here.
Yeah. What happened to the last captain? It's like, wow, really?
Yep. And I didn't mind the
Yeah.
whole information in the eyes thing as much here, because it was so quick each time. Yeah. It's good. Good stuff. Ah, yes. Now the payoff. Jurati is alive. And completely unharmed. Except emotionally, where she's shattered.
Yeah. Before we get to that, though, Benjamin Handelman puts in $2. I want an episode of just Rios and his 5 holograms. This is the closest you're probably going to get. But it would make a great short trek.
Oh,
kind of,
yes.
Like, funny little wacky adventure they go on. They're like dealing with tribbles on the ship or something silly like that would be fun.
And I can imagine certainly season 2, when they realise we need a more friendly vibe, like Discovery had, they'll be played a lot more, I think.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs, $2. This scene is top 10 Trek. So it's up there for sure.
Oh, well, no, because there's so much good Trek. But I mean, for this season, yes.
I think it's up there. I like it. Oh, but yes, as soon as we get to Deep Space 12, you're going to turn yourself into the authorities for the murder of, Maddox. She's like, okay. Great, good. And then she asked him about hell, and I love the look on his face. Do you believe in hell? It's like, obviously not. Anyway, so this is all right, I guess. I mean, she's a pretty good actress as far as crying. You got that down.
She was hired because they knew she was going to be sad a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? She hasn't got much range.
And she looks vulnerable, so...
And she's lots of good little, like, sad micro-expressions, but I still don't enjoy watching her perform. It's weird. It's really weird. But I do like the scene, though. I like the way they play it. She gives good exposition. Picard is both harsh, but not too harsh, because he still thinks she's a victim, and she is, to some extent. Because she did murder someone he knew,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting scene. Although, yes, at this point you're asking why isn't they asked about Elnor, because he's been very calm and slow, and they already had lunch, and it's like, didn't even bother. No? Okay.
Yeah. Eugene, 250 rubles.
Thank you.
Mysterious entity that comes and wipes everything in the galaxy at the end of a cycle. Yes, Reapers, with air quotes.
And the Shadows, to some extent, from Babylon 5. That did confuse me a little bit when they said they will come once we reach a certain level of technology. That threw me for a little more of a loop, because that has been seen before. I thought they were all dead, so having them come back feels a little bit too far. But we'll see. We'll see.
Rosetta Allen, $2.
Thank you.
She's in a resort for the next 10 days to work on the comic. Oh. Very cool. Very cool.
Ooh, what comic?
Well, she's a very talented artist. We should maybe, yeah.
Fancy.
She also got her own YouTube channel, so.
Oh, good luck. Fancy and join and kick ass.
Yeah. And the Trembler puts in $5.
Hey, welcome back.
I want an episode or short trek with all Rios Hollows interacting with Picardo's doctor.
Now that would be a good.
That would be good.
That would, or Zimmerman, have Zimmerman walk on board because there's a problem.
Oh god.
And he's dealing with 5 Rios holograms, and he's like, "You did this to my holographic matrix. You did this to my matrix." And then you can imagine like the creepy guy like walking right up to Picardo's like and like literally forehead to forehead, because Picardo's not backing down. He's like, "You really think you're really gonna get me? Well, I'm just saying hi." Write the scene. Fan film. Do it. Something. I don't know. Make it happen. It's good. Good job.
Yeah, but then their conversation is cut short by Soji, who comes in and says, then the arrival of the destroyer. That's me. And this is weird because it cuts back between Rios and Raffi and the sick bay. It's very cut.
I've said to you in the review, this is the weakest part of the episode by a factory mile is Dorati and Thingy talking. The episode's strong, so this it dips right down to for me.
Yeah. I think that's why they edited it the way they did. So it's always like, something new.
Yeah, I can see that.
So we don't get bored.
Yeah, I can see that.
But that leads into the whole, because at one point she says, and who wanted you to kill me, or who gave the order? She says to Rios.
Yes.
And then it's Commodore O. It cuts to Soji saying Commodore O or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting the way they put it together.
But yeah, she walks in, she overrides, walks in, say hi. He's less drunk now, but whatever. Makes herself some tea for him, which is what he did for her. So it's a nice symmetry there. I really appreciate he's not too drunk. He's not too lost. He's just wallowing, but it's not that true. You know, his professionalism from Starfleet still comes across here. So well done them for balancing this, because they could have pitfalled here, and they didn't. They really didn't.
I love how she calls the record player a Walkman. Is that his Walkman? It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eugene, 250 rubles. I got the sense the people that left the beacon, aka the Proteans, are different from the force that brings hell, aka the Reapers. God,
okay.
I hope Picard won't be use one of three colors.
And Kevin Tipcorn.
400 quatloos on whether he will or not.
Oh. Kevin Tipcorn. Picard has already chosen the green ending, or maybe the red one, or maybe what's the middle one called? Synthesis. Is it called Synthesis, guys? I think that's one I pick sometimes. And the fourth one. Fourth one, you just do nothing. Just stupid. And John Richards agrees, I'm so done with Jurati. Yes. And Mole comments what you said. Why would Picard allow the person who is there to kill Soji and kill Maddox be left alone together?
I said that earlier.
Yeah.
Seems weird, but anyway.
Oh, green was Synthesis. Okay, what was the middle one then? The I can't remember the colour, but the middle one. I don't know. Sorry, I'm having a sub-conversation here.
Well, anyway, she goes on to ask Soji, do you eat, do you drink, do you sleep? Oh, it's so exciting. Yeah. You got beauty marks. You got a cluster of beauty marks there. And I love how she's like, yeah, I also have a mole on my chest. And I'm like, oh, please, let's see that. And crooked pinky toe. And Jurati's like, that's amazing. Soon considered himself an artist, but Data didn't have those things. You know, so you're a work of art. You're awesome. And Soji's, but am I a person to you?
And no answer given.
Yeah.
Which was good. I was hoping.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I thought we were going to cop out there. So I'm glad I didn't.
Oh.
Another shortfall they could have got to.
Yeah. And then the whole, Commander O wanted you to kill me too. Oh, but I absolutely wouldn't. Not again. Not having met you. Okay, so you're not going to kill a synthetic person you've never met, but you're willing to kill your ex-lover.
And mentor. Yep.
Who's an actual person.
Who you made cookies with.
Well, but that's why I'm glad they put in the line, I won't do it again. Because she feels overwhelming guilt because of that, I think. And
it destroyed
she realizes that Soji's something special, yeah.
Well, he was something special too. And since we know,
yeah, but
since we know that
people are
not special.
Yeah,
and I love the fact that people are putting the different colors. Tells you who's a Mass Effect fan, because it's a very specific thing to know. So yay Jarzia, yay Adrian Reynolds, yay.
Well, Eugene has it too. Green, synthesis, blue, control, red, destruction, fourth, Vandermeer.
Beautiful. I love that you guys. And I guess which one did you pick then? I'll double down on that for a second. Which do you pick in the endings?
Taurus 69 puts in $2. 277 likes. Let's get to 300 likes.
We're close. We are close. Everyone click like. Oh god, 400. If we get to 400 viewers, I'll be so happy. I want to see 300 likes, and put down what you put. But yeah, this I like the Rios, and which we'll get into a second, and Rafi's seen a lot. It's great. It's underplayed, and that's how strong it is. You don't need everything else. But Jurati saying, "Oh, he breathed." It's like, okay, sure, you got it after the first one. I guess she's happy, but wouldn't every time she looks at the face of the destroyer, just like Romda, she'd get the vision. I mean, even when talking to Picard, she's seeing destruction, and here she is completely ignoring it, and it feels it's just so not what they have been set up.
I think it's her sense of wonder is overriding the vision that O gave her, because she worked her whole life for this. She thought it's something that would never be achieved in her lifetime, but Maddox did it. So it's like this amazing thing that she's worked her whole life for, standing right in front of her. I think that might override that. So I think that's maybe what they were going for, but it's not. It doesn't come across that.
And the love of her life, who designed them, she's happy to kill without a second thought. I just think I do know what you're trying to say, but I think it wasn't played that way properly. It didn't come, like I said, it didn't come across. And I think that if we're meant to believe that she can be broken enough to do anything that's needed, this would not be enough. Because you meet her and she looks like a young girl, it wouldn't be enough to convince her. And I'm sad that they're reversing the one thing she had going. Feels a bit contrite. Yeah. Well, feels easy. Easy is the word.
Yeah. Aku puts in £2. Picard really needs a Solarian on his crew.
Did you get it?
Yes.
Really?
And Milo says, Samuel, you made a whole group of my niece's volleyball team, LOL, and gave me a whole lot of ribbing last stream. I left early, my TV on, and your voice, bye Milo, have a good night. They all burst out LOLing.
Yeah, okay. That's hilarious. I remember, I hoped you were going to see that, because it means you were still watching, though, whatever. So you're actually in the room with them, watching us live? Because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Happy to make your day / ruin your day. Brilliant. Thanks, Milo. That's awesome. Thanks for coming back to us.
And Rum Truffler puts in £5. She only ate the cookies. She was using Maddox all along. We should have seen the signs. We should have seen the signs.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Used him to learn, used him to get a better position. I mean, sure. But Stuart, 404 people watching.
Hit like. Everyone, thank you for joining us. Make sure you're subscribed as well. And if you want to join the channel, there's that option also.
And Eugene, he watched all 3 endings and later all 4, chose to tell them to go fuck themselves.
Great.
And Milo says, yes, my flat screen TV on YouTube, and they all fell out. Have a good laugh. Having a good laugh. That's awesome. God's watching us on a big screen. That's crazy. Crazy man. Love it.
Darcy at $2. Control can't kill Edie and Geth. Don't like synthesis. Oh, stop talking about this Mass Effect shit. I don't care.
I've also talked to you, Stuart, that we should do a Let's Play when I'm at your house and just like play it together, because I think you'd really enjoy it. Especially the universe. You'd love the universe. Maybe more than the game itself, but yeah, you'd love the universe.
The Trembler. Surprise, there's no emergency security hologram. Strain's absence. But maybe that would solve things too easily. Gotta remember, it's probably a civilian ship too, so that would be something that'd be more Starfleet vessel maybe. Because
yeah, I mean, if the guy is like a ninja and can shoot anybody with a phaser rifle, that's more dangerous than the other ones. Yeah, I could see that being limited. I'm sure you could like do a manual hack to add it, but he's not that sort of guy, and he's also got full Starfleet training. And guys, I just upped the bitrate even more. Let us know if the stream looks even higher, because actually the highest bitrate we've ever had, and it's stable. So let us know if the stream looks really like crisp right now, because it's really, really high actually. Yeah. Do let us know, please, if you can.
150 rubles. The scene is cut right before the answer, right? Flashback in next scene incoming.
Yes.
I don't know what you're referring to.
I assume you mean this. Is there a flashback?
Well, we have a PayPal as well.
Wait
in a second.
Oh yeah, we can do PayPal. Forgot
about. Snoopy McQueen, $3 with a fist bump sticker. Thank you. And Trace, $2. Just a little something to support your efforts. Thank you very much, Trace.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Jadok Productions, $5
hey.
Australian.
Hi, man.
Thumping great episode. I think Picard has been reinstated, but he just didn't realize it. Maybe she's calling Admiral, so.
Yeah, maybe.
And we got a super chat or a PayPal, sorry, from Ted. I can't remember his name offhand now on YouTube, but anyway, it says get ready for a data retcon. Soong went to this planet and learned to make androids from them. Data is based on their tech, which is how he was able to paint Soji. Calling it now. Disagree. He wasn't painting Soji, he was painting a version of Lao. Anyway. 2, Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. Rotting fox in vision is first thing that comes up on Google image search. Anti-Trekker caught this. 3. The Scottish word ken, which means to know, is not very well known. Siobhan has been watching Outlander, Ronald D. Moore's current show, and that is where he got the term ken. 4. That would not kill the Borg being spaced like that, which we'll talk about when we get there.
Yep.
5. Watch the last scene again. When Soji tries to steal the ship, everyone is on the lower level of the mess hall in front of the med bay. However, when she begins taking the ship, Rios and Raffi run to the cockpit from the upper level, aft transporter area. There could be another stairwell down there.
Yeah.
If they were in the mess, they should be coming up the stairs. I'm guessing this was a continuity error caused by reshoot.
I mean, the stairs are behind the place. They just ran up the stairs and then to the bridge. It's far enough back for that, surely.
I think there's another stairwell at the back because Picard takes Soji that.
It's a staircase both sides. Yeah, it goes up and it goes.
Yeah, Anyway, it might be reshoots as well. So.
Well, yeah, they might decide to change the ending. And did you say how much super chat or how much PayPal there was?
I did not. It was 13.27 Canadian.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And a quick question to everyone out there. So I've upgraded this. I lightened up this picture of Rios' office or room. Next to his box, there's a ribbed or metally thing with a woman's face thing in it. It looks like a brochure for Nike or something. You know, you can go faster. What is this? So I know this is. It's such a random set dressing. It's just so weird. I don't know what it's trying to be.
You zoom in on it, or?
Yeah, I just did. It's really weird.
Oh, it's a record. It's a record cover.
Ah, so he moved them right. Okay.
You opened the chest. There was a thing of records there as well. So
there you go. Thank you. Yeah. Well.
What was I going to say? Super chats. Episode Area 51 puts in $5. Captain, ever think of getting an emergency Samuel hologram? You could use one, because then they could do the editing for you, Samuel.
And you'd program him to like it.
Right. Captain Ron Phillips, $2. Still mad at death of Hugh and no reaction from Seven. Well, she never was told that he died, necessarily, that we heard, so...
Yeah. I mean, it is... They skipped over a few important things. But I appreciate so much they didn't just have her go on a revenge rampage. That would have been a shame. So, for what it's worth.
Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $2. Looks like Vinyl Records. Absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we get the story where they found the ship, 2 people on board. They reported a first contact. They invited the people aboard. They beamed on. And there was Beautiful Flower, the boy, and then Jana, the girl, and all of a sudden the captain killed them with one quick phaser shot each. And when he was questioned, Rios pushed him kind of hard. It was an order of a black ops directive from Starfleet, whatever. Pushed him a little too hard. The captain blew his brains out with the phaser, which I was like, well, last time you said I see the blood and brains all over the bulkhead. It's like, I guess the phaser was set on projectile mode. It just doesn't equate anyway.
But luckily he didn't. Remember, that was early in the season. They've now tweaked stuff since. I wasn't reset in this episode. It was just, although it seems bizarre, since a kill shot would kill you if you shot your pinky or your toes. You don't need to put a gun in your mouth to kill yourself. It's so, like, if the guy wants to die, that's so dramatic. He wants to be a drama queen, I'll go the old school way, cha-ching, whereas you just go, pew, and he's been lasered. So a bit ridiculous. I mean, would he not think that's going to scar my second in command to watch me shoot myself through the brain? But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's dramatic. Otherwise, I don't buy he'd commit suicide. There's got to be another level here because a Starfleet captain is better than that. Especially as Picard says, "Who was one of the best of us?" And the amount of things they've all done, especially as I would assume O would tell them why you have to kill these people, because even if you don't, there'd be a reason, and you'd trust Starfleet at the start. I know Rios went hard against him, but I just don't buy it. They'd commit suicide like that. Starfleet officers, especially captain, especially that old, because he had full white hair, he's got the experience. He wouldn't be that cowardly to commit suicide. And it just doesn't. No, I don't buy that.
Like I said to you earlier, I mean, just imagine an episode of TNG where Picard gets that order. He would, you'd think, what an asshole admiral, and then Picard would go and question them and find out what's going on, and the whole thing, right? So
yeah, you'd put them in. Yeah, you'd hide them. You'd take them back to the planet. You'd lie to Starfleet. Yeah, you wouldn't just. I mean, either shows he's a terrible captain at the end of the day because he did it, or terrible captain they committed suicide because he couldn't deal with it. So just, really,
Paul Johnson, 5 pounds.
Thank you.
Maybe the Zat Vash are right. If I was called Beautiful Flower, I'd probably conclude synthetics need to overthrow all biological life too.
Yeah, that was a very odd choice. I'm not sure why. Will we ever know? I don't know.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Eugene, 150 rubles. The guy next to Jana, is it Beautiful Flower or Rios? It is Rios in the picture that was drawn. He said the other one drew it, so I guess the Beautiful Flower drew it.
Yeah.
Jaddock Productions, $2 Australian. I was hoping the Borg were going to rip her apart. I think he's the Romulan chick.
She'll be back. That we'll get there in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So and Tiberian, great. Thank you for reminding us. It was a black order. They said, and they
would destroy the ship.
Destroy the entire ship and kill. Oh, that is an interesting line. That really, because that tells you whoa. But that said, you just say you killed them, especially if you delete all the logs anyway, and the ship was obviously destroyed anyway. Hell of a threat, but you'd find another way out. Picard would, Kirk would, Janeway would. I mean, it just shows how bad of a captain he was, Yeah.
I missed a super chat. Jeff Jacobs, $2, 300. Sweet. We will need 400, but I will pay it 350. And 392. If you hear, everybody hit that like button if you haven't already. Trevor Umbarger, $5.
Trevor,
late to the party, so sorry if you covered this. Still don't get how an ancient warning beacon can show an image of data. Yeah, we talked about that.
Stuart doesn't like it, but I just rectify it as that's the only synthetic they knew of at that point, and so therefore that's a vision from their perspective. They all know about data, and therefore they see the old and the new combined in their own perspective. So I haven't got a problem. It wasn't literally data, it was them experiencing their own interpretation of. So for me, it's not too bad. And Ozzy is a great point. Yes, the sister beamed out. Sorry, I always forget because it was so quick. But yes, she beamed out. Thank you.
Yeah, you see her beam out, yeah.
Yeah, well remembered. Where are we at? Oh, yeah, so it was...
Well, if we're going to the next scene, it's her shooting everybody, but...
Yeah. Now, do you think this is implying that she went and did this for every single room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you go back to Elnor and 7, you see a lot of them disappear, and he's like, they're disappearing.
No, that's after this.
Yeah, I know it is.
Oh, okay.
That means she's a lot more than just in this room. And she was doing it enough to burn out one of the disruptors. So.
Yeah. I mean, it was both graphic and not at all graphic, if that makes sense. It was kind of clinical and simple. I would have preferred doing seeing I know I'm talking about mass graphic murder spree here, but I'd rather have seen firing squad style thing where you see multiple rooms and you see Romulan guards walk in, just shoot them in a montage, so you get a sense of what do you call it? Order 61, 49, 51, 66. There you go. Montage. Although obviously enough of them survive to be effective again, but it's graphic and sad, and the disruptor line's a bit funny. Poor guy though, because he's like, oh,
I broke your gun. Give me another one.
You broke it. It didn't break. You broke it.
Eugene, 150 rubles.
Thank you.
Or it is data, and there's still hope. about time loop. Please note every season 3 connection. P.S. Going to send a PayPal for review. He will read your PayPal at the end, Eugene. So thank you. And we will be having a live talking about something soon.
Yeah, I mean, you can call out if you want
Monday
to. Maybe Monday, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Monday, talking about the possible tie-ins between this and Discovery Season 3 now. So now that we know about the star system and stuff. So.
Well, I'll go back for a second. You mentioned about the was Data based on the information from the planet? No, I doubt it strongly. I say this planet is all based on Data's information. That's going to play a huge part. Why? And also, so on a great point, I want to point it out. I'm sorry. It is somebody. Okay, someone. Sorry, whoever said it. Someone said, "Where's all the non-Romulan staff?"
Well,
because a lot of science people was doing stuff, and that's pretty. It's weird they just sort of ignored that, because there should be Andorians, there should be all these sorts of people walking around.
Yep. And the clown face girl.
Yeah.
The Trembler, $5. Probably more thought than that some writers would put in, but I bet a lot of Vandermeer's generation were scarred by Borg and Dominion threat.
Yeah. Well, the fact they survived. Yeah. I could see that. PTSD style thing. No? Yeah. Yeah.
Thribs.
Ooh. Oh, what do you say?
Thribs 2 pounds. Maybe he fired on stun at close range, Star Trek 6 style. Well, that only caused bruising, but yeah, maybe.
But Neomix is a great point. Trekyards, the gravity and energy created from the 8 planets in configuration might allow for some kind of temporal trickery, enabling visions from future and the past. And if you can use time, if you can go on one sun for time travel, what if they put them all there, and part of their way of escaping the threat was just to go back in time, because now you've got like an infinite time travel machine, because you can just move round the sun and still go through time. Would be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if it's a thing that's unique to the universe. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But anyway, the Borg are dying, so Seven decides, screw it, she's gonna link in. And
yes. And I do like how she's instant from like they're all dying to okay, I'll take action. The XPs are dying. Well, the drones need to be there to save them because we all have a common goal. It's good. It's a yeah.
And then the sister says to the other guy, are you afraid of them? I'd be a fool not to be.
It's good.
It was good as well. So, but then yeah, she links up, and we get to see her Borg spine.
Yeah, I still don't like this fully. I don't know why. It feels a bit weird to me. Because it does reminiscent of the Borg Queen, but not enough to me. It just doesn't. I want something more. I want something else. I don't know what I wanted. Like it would have been nice if had like the floor open up and then the Queen's private circle thing come up, and then the tubes go in from there, and then she like lifts up a little bit like the Queen can do. Subtle, but this didn't quite. It was like, okay, you went 10% the way there. Whatever. And I bet her jacket wasn't even hurt from this, because that would take destroying a jacket.
Exactly. Jarzia, $5 Canadian.
Thank you.
Decompression scene bugged me. Most drones would only feel a moderate breeze as the air got thinner. Only the ones near the opening would be blown out.
Yeah, we'll get there in a few seconds. But then she goes all, you'll be assimilated, we are the Borg. And this also bugged me, because she is not the Borg.
And she didn't say she would be assimilated, she said we are the Borg.
I guess she means that more as we are ex-Borg, but because they're not still Borg. They've all got individuality and they can't think. It tells you basically that in a Borg cube you've got a default program that can take over and make this Lady Borg. It just didn't feel quite right. And I wish it was a bit more like the original Borg, We Are the Borg, like more voices rather than like... it was a bit more distorty rather than like the voices. But I guess there's less voices, so I guess you could argue that. But the effect was cool, the eyes. I'll give them that. Oh, I absolutely adore the every alcove goes green. Perfect.
She's like, get rid of him, and then the force field goes up. And
Yep. Oh god, it's actually really rather horrifying, this moment, actually.
Yeah. Well, you're rooting for the Borg at this point.
Yeah, you are.
And you feel bad that this happens. So it's like, whoa. Yeah.
No, and it's so cool to say we are Borg, and I wish we'd seen an alcove with a spinning, because they clearly have it. Oh, it's annoying.
Yeah.
We need to see active Borg bits. But yeah, they'll get flushed away, and there's so many of them. There's thousands and thousands, and you do really get a sense of it. It's very well done. But yeah, as soon as the scene's over, I'm like... What?
Okay, go ahead.
Well, as soon as the scene...
say, and yes, we know that they don't die in space, that they can be scooped up.
That's what I was going to say. As soon as the scene ended, I'm thinking, okay, well, none of them died because they can all survive vacuum. We saw in First Contact. Those weren't special Borg, they're average Borg. Like, Borg. I mean, no, not every single Borg, but I mean, they don't need air to live. So, yes, the vacuum might have been... That's a surprise, but they all survived. And then Seven's got thousands of transporter emitters, so she could probably beam them all back in within minutes or hours. So, it's a bit of a... misunderstanding how the Borg work. That said, I can imagine that as soon as they got here, the Romulans went and actually ripped out all of their, ability to live in a vacuum as a security measure, so that when they did suck them out into space, they would die. And I could buy that, but they didn't say that, and they wouldn't die by default. And you can't give them that much rope if they definitely haven't, yeah. So it's not as threatful, but at least they're outside the ship. But just beam them back. It's fine.
Yeah. Dead Shinzo puts in $2 Canadian. We are the Borg. We don't have beaming tech at all.
Yeah. Oh, and yes, the double guitars. I wish they'd showed us close-ups, literally little pieces of metal going to space. Yeah, we should have seen a close-up of an alcove and a drone and go
Yeah.
They would have been more expensive. Oh, we should have been that one guy, that one drone we saw. Because
Eugene, 150 rubles.
Thank
Too bad
you.
Borg cannot do EVA without suits. Oh wait, they can, and they did in First Contact.
Yep. It's another little plot hole, unless she has beamed them all back in.
Well, she took over the cube, and then she said, put them all into space, open the airlocks, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And Sylvia made the point that, well, she's in charge of the cube now. She should have control over the airlocks. I think it was all happening simultaneously, though. So it was just like a split-second difference, probably. But yeah, you'd think that she'd start beaming them right back on.
Yeah, and I would also imagine that they would. This is their security measure, because why the hell would you have all of your dozens of alcoves on literally the edge of your cube, the hull layer of your cube, to have a door open? Why would you do that? You'd have them inside the cube so that, because imagine if a torpedo hit, you know how Picard blew up a part of the hull. What, did you just disintegrate 5,000 drones? They're in the middle of the ship. They're in inner layers. But I think they moved them all to these outer ones, so that they have emergency overrides. They could do this even if they controlled the cube. I think that was all emergency systems, So I'm not against it really.
Yeah. Oh, but now Girardi's back, and she's like, I'm not going to kill anybody anymore.
It's almost cute. Doesn't quite work, but it almost works.
Well, I'm done killing people now.
Yeah. And this is the big conference room scene, basically.
Yeah.
And also a big recap of the plot, because everyone tells us what we already know.
This is Expedition Dump Central.
Yeah.
And Raffi kind of says 200,000 years when I think it's probably longer, but anyway, she's...
Well, the fact that she says 100 or 200,000 years, big difference, Raffi. So she has no idea. She's guessing.
Yeah. David Shinzo, $2.
They
show Borg in the mid with the hologram. Borg in the mid with the hologram. Okay. Don't know what you mean.
Sorry.
So Rios gets Soji French fries to dip in peppermint ice cream. And he goes, yeah, I think it's kind of disgusting, but you really like this, don't you? How'd you know?
Yeah.
And she knows about Jonna. She says the name.
Yep.
How did I know that? Yeah. Just trying to remember everything that was said during this.
And Neomix, I was a bit upset when Soji wastes her chips. That's funny.
Well, yeah, and wrecked my damn table.
Although they made a point not to show like a dent. Small thing, but they didn't.
Well, they did, though, from the top. You can see it's all bent in.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where we're here about the...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. Oh, okay.
That's where we hear about the star system, how it's all artificially made, and how we get the story from Picard about the Zot Vash.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, there's quite a bit of exposition here. A lot of it we know, some of it was like new information, but
they summarized it all for the audience. And the fact that Soji is knowing stuff just like she did previously. She's knowing stuff without knowing it, and this basically actually activates her, because now we get the context, which before we thought that Soji was made for the mission with the Borg cube. So was Daj. No, they had lives before this, and they all had knowledge and connective. So she knew about the other her, and she's remembering all this other information. So it's a good she's activating her true self, not just her android self. And it was good. It was a good scene. They feel like a good unit so far. But Soji is not happy. So she takes over the ship with a lovely little beauty side. We get some nice greebling detail. I like it. I still wish we have warp glows, but oh well. And she force fields. She hacks Transwarp Hub network. And those things have to be kept online by the Borg, so I'm assuming that means the collective's still working, which is kind of... I mean, we know it's still working, but still...
Yeah. Active in the area.
Yeah, it's active in the area. And I quite like this scene, although this is one of those things... We're right about a lot of things in this episode. This is one of them, but I love it didn't outstay its welcome. It was a power play, he power play right back, and they came to a consensus. That's how it should be done. Well done. Tick.
Yep.
It's good.
Beautifully done. I love how he kind of takes over his ship. As he's singing his lullaby, you hear things like powering down. And he throws the force field off.
It's good stuff.
That was a great idea on his part to have that kind of safety measure.
Yep. No, it's fun.
Yeah, I love how he's like, my mother didn't like people playing with her things either.
It's good.
Yeah. Very good.
Good line. Good line. And I like that she doesn't equal his aggression with the aggression of, I'm going to punch you. It's very oh, for God's sake, Rhea. It meeting him where he's at rather than taking to the extreme. Which is nice.
James McGill, $5.
Thank you.
Beacon of 8 stars left by ancient AI to brainwash organics, to seek out and destroy any...
Ooh.
Since an AI kills off any threats of competition to ancient AI.
Okay. That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. It's
Dead
good.
Shinzo, $5.
Thank you.
See the normal Borg in the middle of the cube via the hologram map. So them all suddenly being sucked out seems weak. Oh, that's what he meant. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So this is great. Picard sits in the chair and cracks his knuckles and starts to... And then he looks over. And I don't know if it was legit. He didn't know what the hell he was doing, or if it was because it's Rios' ship and he just kind of said that just so that he didn't, But yeah, I thought that was pretty well played. I didn't like the cracking the knuckles thing, though. It didn't really work for me. But other than that, fine.
Yeah, it's fun because it shows the go-getting Picard that he used to be. But the fact is, he's been retired 14 years. He was an admiral before that, a captain before that. He hasn't had to fly a ship in 25 years. And it's a different ship. And it's different systems. He looks at it I don't know Windows 46.2. Last one I used was Windows 26.3. I might know it, but I don't want to blow it up. So, Rios. But also, you're right. It's reading the room. It's knowing that that's how you get him back on board, letting him be in charge. Although, one quick thing that I'm glad I remembered. They were on their way to Starbase Deep Space 12, right?
Deep Space 12, yeah.
So why are they dropped out at sublight to then let them go back to warp? Because they're not at warp.
I assume Soji dropped them out of warp and then started doing her thing to change their course.
Okay.
Would be my guess.
You would think they'd feel that, though, would get a sense of that. 'Cause it just feels very random to, like, we're zooming towards and then suddenly we're not.
That's why him and Raffi were storming up towards the bridge. Like, what happened? Why are we slowing down? Or why are we stopped?
I guess, but I would have assumed the force field, because they're just down the stairs. I'd assume they'd hear a zzz. What? Like, I guess, but it would be nice to have seen that, because it would be nice to just... It just felt really abrupt. It's like, well, where's the connective tissue here? Because they were zooming towards something. Now they're not. Small thing, but it just bugged me a little bit. Yeah.
Captain Ron Phillips, $5.
Thank you.
Could it have been the Iconians that made the 8-star cluster? And the warning is from lesser races that beat them, since Iconians are parts synthetic.
No, Star Trek Online
I get so sick and
Iconians.
tired. I get so sick and tired of hearing the word Iconian whenever anything... You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Iconians did it. Oh, Iconians did... No.
Now, I love the Iconians personally as a concept.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I do too.
They're one of the base races. But the thing is, only Star Trek Online, they're mechanical. We know nothing about that in the main show, so you can't say that. And we know Stowe isn't canon. And boy, I just didn't like the art design of the Iconians in Stowe. It's really weird and kind of ugly. And for me, personally. Not the original art design was great or anything, but it's like, really? That's what you went with, eh? Sorry about it, but yeah, not so much.
Captain Ron Phillips, $5. Could it have been... Oh, we said that already. Damn it. Never mind. I love how Rios gives Soji shit here, too. He's like, so you were going to go into a transwarp conduit without setting up a neutron thing and no structural integrity field.
Important
not
stuff.
With my ships. And he basically pulled a Han Solo. Not with my ships.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So.
But it does come across as, I'm teaching you because this is why you need us. It doesn't come across as
you know
Han
a lot
Solo
of stuff,
would.
but you don't know everything.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Although I didn't quite buy that she learned how to transwarp stuff while she was at the cube. That seems a bit random. I assume they should know that anyway from her past knowledge, but also it's quite specific knowledge. But I'm not sure which way to take that. But yeah, she doesn't know everything. Because yeah, they'll probably blow up the ship if she tries. And everyone sort of agrees. And Picard's like, look, we're trying her way, we're trying Maddox's way, we're trying my way, although my way was just escaping. I mean, we haven't done my way yet. There's been no my way. And now try her way, which is just going forwards at the threat. Her way is just... Oh, yeah.
This is the time where you don't sit down there, Captain Picard. You go down to the holodeck and you message Admiral Clancy. Because Ed Sr. is like, Trekyards, Admiral Clancy sent a squadron to DS-12, but they are now heading to the synth homeworld, so they won't meet the reinforcements. Yeah, we know. We talked about that earlier. It could be that he does message her during this travel there, because it's been... Later we see him on the bridge in a second, talking about his time on the Reliant as an ensign.
Mm-hmm.
So they've had time. He probably did message, and because they didn't show it, when the fleet all of a sudden comes in to save the day in the last episode, we're going to be like, holy shit, he did. Well, if that's what, in fact, what they do.
I mean, it's just as much as they didn't show them coming out of warp, but they did. They didn't show them talk to the Admiral, but they did. I mean, he was so adamant about talking to her. Of course he did, and I'm fine with that. He'll give coordinates. He'll say, we'll meet you there. We're going to use transwarp. Because I would assume that most ships in the fleet are faster than this ship. So even at transwarp speed, if you send a Sovereign at 9.999 whatever, this ship is making a warp 7. So that's exponentially faster. You know? Yeah. I would assume.
Dead Shinzo, $2. Not Iconian, it's the Takan. What could go wrong? Yeah.
I love it.
That tie-in.
Watch our edited review for that.
Yeah, please watch the edited review, yeah.
No, I absolutely love that. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Here we get the Romulan ships, the fleet. I gotta admit, they look kind of cool.
Yes, and the Borg cube so much better with the green. So much better.
Oh, yeah. And I love how she's walking along. So everything's good. Ship ready, and all of a sudden the guy gets this neck snap behind her, and she just kind of does this look. She fights a few of them off. They pile on her like zombies.
Yeah.
And then you see the beam out effect. Like, she does beam out, unfortunately. But
this guy's missing an arm. This is actually a really good scene. I really like it. And yeah, the warp pins are cool. Though the fact the Borg ship's so big, and they say my fleet's on its way, and it's like all these tiny little ships, is really weird. And it's weird they say we've got ships on their way, but if they're leaving now, they don't. They're whatever, doesn't matter. And yeah, the I just felt sad for the guy. The guy, I like the guy so much from his 2 lines. I'm like, oh, not killed. But this does show that Seven didn't need the drones. If you've got 5,000 XPs that can have all the same abilities roughly, you didn't need the drones, did you, Seven?
You just can't communicate with these ones the same way because you can't link into them.
True, but it just phones them up like, to all Borgs, kill Romulans. What? And Rom does like, what?
I am 7 of 9.
Yeah.
Eugene, 150 rubles.
Thank you.
Why Romulan ships fire up engines and not warp nacelles?
Yep. Sure. But yeah, Romulan beams away, and we get this great shot. Very bird-like, and there's several designs. What about the defense platforms? Are they going to do anything, or what were those green things even there for, if not to stop the ship?
I would assume they're a dampening field for communications or something. I thought they were like a defensive system or a shielding system, but maybe 7 and 9 disabled them all when she came in, so they're useless right
now I see subtly in the left-hand corner there's a Borg green force field. So maybe because we did see Borg we saw blue in the trailers, and then oh no, we made that change. Sorry, I was thinking the blue from the trailers. But yeah, very very Romulan birdie ships. They all warp out, and this annoyed me because they were so Discovery warp outs. It was crazy. Like, same sound effect, same look. I know it's the same team doing the effects, but it's like, could we not just have warp? How is this better than warp? The poof and then poof. Could we just not have a glowing green and it goes and then flares? No, we don't. Like an actual flare. So, bit of a letdown, but I mean, we never expect it, do we now? Honestly. They've fully committed to this new style of everything, so... You know, but decent enough ships. And then we get, I think, the scene that kind of saves the Borg storyline, to me anyway. Seven does disconnect.
Well, after Elnor says, "Are you going to assimilate me now?" So,
of course
she
not.
Disconnects.
Yeah. So I'm really happy about that, because that was one of those big things I thought that they were going to make a mistake of. Make her a villain, ruin her, make her power hungry. Nope. She stops. And brilliant.
And she says Annika still has work to do, which is important, not I have work to do or 7.
Yes.
Which would have been stupid if she said 7 has work to do. It's like, what?
And maybe that's also a sign that you can imagine that she might have, because she's called 7, not 7 of 9, in the context, but also the other lady known as Annika, so I sense that maybe she's gonna get back to being Annika. Annika represents her being a good character. 7's the in-between character, and so the fact that the Borg voice says Annika is important there.
And Andrew Kirksley, I agree. Loved her talking with Seven's cadence. Sounded like the 7 of 9 that we knew, which was great.
Oh, I should go back and watch that. I didn't notice that necessarily.
Oh yeah, absolutely she did.
Well, boy, her American accent really again bothered me at the start. She's such a strong accent now. So weird.
She doesn't though, but that's okay.
I'll do a side by side for you one day, and you'll be like, "Damn," because it's just twang.
Well, the way you imitate it doesn't sound at all like it. So
no, but it's. I'll do a side by side just for you, Stuart, because it's really distracting sometimes. But yeah, she comes out of it with incredibly frazzled hair, and I'm glad I didn't ruin her character, because I was really legit worried. You know, she'll be the next Borg Queen. No, she won't. It's just clickbait, basically. And then we get confirmed. This is what warp looks like now from inside subspace outside the tunnel.
Confused me quite a bit.
I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it looks like nothing. And there's trails of plasma leaving the ship, even though there wouldn't be. It looks like Discovery shuttle flying at Discovery warp, pretty much. It was a poor visual. When all you needed was the classic warp stars and it going vroom by camera. Disappointing. But the next scene's nice.
Oh yes.
And again, incredibly slow. It suddenly like slows right down for some reason.
Yeah, I served as an ensign on the Reliance. I thought I was the only person in the galaxy. And then they have this nice heart-to-heart about his captain, his old man, and then the old man's other captain lady. And they're all just the best captains ever. He was a great man.
Yeah, that felt really daft.
Yeah, but it's quickly glazed over, and he's like, well, maybe he thought he could live with it because they were synthetics, and I just feel bad that he died thinking that Starfleet screwed him. And Picard's like, no, Starfleet did screw him. It screwed us.
Mm-hmm.
Then I love how Rios chimes in and says, well, she hacked my ship in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
and he looks scared, doesn't he?
Yeah. Could the Romulans be correct?
Yep.
That you guys are a threat. They saw this vision and all that, and Picard's like, well, yeah, but they're acting on fear. We would look at it with curiosity and whatever. So that's our advantage. And I think it's all probably on how you go into the experience, because I'm sure maybe in these next 2 episodes somebody else is going to touch the thing and it's going to have a totally different vision of the future, or the past, I guess. I don't know. It was a good speech from Picard. It was very Picard-like. So
yeah, he channeled what we had to channel, and they worked well together in this scene. Good for them for chemistry. But again, the best captain ever. It's like, no, he wasn't, clearly. But yeah.
Exactly.
But he's trying to be nice, isn't he? He's just trying to be nice.
Yeah. Taurus 69, $2, 332 likes, 180 watching. Hit that like button.
Brilliant.
And I gotta be honest, I hate that cliche in Star Trek. Oh yeah, I was good friends with him at the academy. I haven't seen him for years. It's like, really? Were you good friends with everybody? Because that's what it seems like.
But I can imagine they'd have like captains' conferences. I know it sounds dumb, but just like, there's only so many hundreds of captains. Have a big party. 80 captains get together, have some drinks, get to know each other.
I guess the Navy does it all the time. Darth Maul, Trekyards, the Soji's from another planet. Did Maddox really build her? Yeah, we don't know, but
I mean, I hope so. Yes, I still hope. Well, I guess predictions, but yeah, Data will be the next one. Brent, and we're gonna see maybe another one of her, but hopefully this is the last of her. Hopefully they made one version of her in the past and they got killed, and another version of her now. They were like the Enterprise A of these units. And also, to be fair, this actually makes sense to make these ones look like Soji, look like Daj, look like Picard's Data's daughter, because these ones were in the Federation, whereas the other ones weren't in the same way, and therefore part of their directive was see Picard if you need him, and so if you look like Data's daughter, you're going to get the respect of him instantly, whereas if you look like someone else, so that's probably why these were made again the second time, to that the Picard will be forced to be sympathetic, Yeah.
The Trembler, $2. Worth mentioning. Vandermeer's captain in Tapestry. What? Same captain? I don't know.
Oh, you mean the captain of the Enterprise D because Picard isn't captain? Oh.
No, that's Jellicoe. Oh, Tapestry. Gotcha.
When Picard's a blue shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bloody interesting if that's a reference. Let me check this out. Because that's pretty cool if that's in the reference.
Well, look at Tower Radio, puts in £2 and says, hey, Captain and Commander. Hey, how's it going?
Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, what's the captain's name?
I don't know. I can never remember it.
Guys, tell us the name.
Do our jobs.
Yeah. I want to know.
Wake Roberts says, no, the captain was Thomas Holloway.
Oh, so what are you guys referencing from Tapestry? Was he a friend with him? Was that one of his friends? Because I don't think his friends were black. I'm confused.
Jarzy at $2. Marta Bettinetti's? Picard's old crush. What?
Okay, Vandermeer. Captain Vandermeer. Star Trek.
Alonzo Vandermeer, that's his name.
Okay. Let's see. Nope, there's nothing on his memory alpha that says anything about him being anything else. So I think you guys are wrong, as you were earlier about the guy directing it. It happens. It happens. It's all good. It's all good.
Trekyards, the girl from Tapestry. Yeah, what about her? What does that have to do with anything? Is that the other captain that he's talking about?
Oh. Then why did you mention the other friend?
I don't know. Marta Bat-Anides, whatever.
Okay, Slayer became captain of the starship, first officer. Ah, right, okay, right, there we go. So this, the girl that he dated, almost, said she later became a captain of a starship. First officer was Alonzo Vandermeer.
Nice.
And, okay. Right, I went to the academy with her, so it wasn't just a random person.
That was cool.
Right, there we
Right.
go.
Now
Thank
it
you.
makes sense. Thank you.
Cool.
That's very cool.
Another good reference. They're getting good at them. They are getting good at them. The really obscure ones that they really have to think about.
The Trembo $2. Yeah, his friend in the past. Yep. Thank you.
Good. Right, and then we pretty much end as they get to the transwarp conduit.
Yep.
She very quickly opens it. I do like the quick warp out and then quick open up. And it's not quite the same as the transwarp conduit, but it's close enough. I'm kind of digging it so far. I think the inside is going to look very different based on the trailer for next week, as opposed to we'll see. We'll get there. But it's really kind of funny as a Trek concept to drop out of warp and then instantly activate transwarp. It's like it's such a it's just a funny joke to me. And the compass points straight, which is a bit cheesy, but okay.
Yeah. And then as they go in, we see Nerek's ship decloak finally.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it cloaked last time when it was following them? But Nerek's ship decloaks and follows them in.
And I do like how the ship does get all covered in colour and then vumph in, because that is how transport works. So technically speaking, a conduit doesn't open when you go in the start. This is a conduit, that's why this is a specific... They're not creating their own transport speed, they're using a conduit, that's why. Okay, but I love that they do actually use the right effects mostly. And yeah, decloak. But why would you decloak except show the audience? Because they'll detect you when you're in transwarp. But it was
You can't enter it while cloaked.
Fine. Okay, no, that's a good answer. Makes sense. But I like this end. It was a good dum sort of end.
Yeah.
Which I liked. Which was good.
Good T Nice House 279.
Thank you.
Vandermeer was Marta's first officer. Yes, figured that out. Thank you. Quincy puts in 20 euros.
Oh.
That's amazing. Thank you. And the series, the cube comes in to save La Serena. Picard beams onto the cube. I am Jean-Luc Picard, resistance is futile. They then take a battering from Romulans. Then we hear dun, dun, duh. Vorcha class warps in. No.
Well, I can imagine the cube could just transwarp to them. That's an easy in. So I can imagine the cube might get to them instantly.
Oh, yeah, I think the cube will, yeah.
And that'll certainly be quite cool. Talk about synths. But still the Federation fleet. God, can you imagine the final battle? How much more epic can you get than a fleet of Romulan warships, a fleet of Federation warships, and a Borg cube? Wow, that's a threesome that you'll be part of, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's good. And guys, so now we're end of the discussion. We're going to start doing our final scores and final notes. But now we've got 20 euros, but I'd love to see another $25 from one person or several people to end out this successful live. Would be awesome. We also rely on the support hugely, and therefore any final sort of 15, 20, 30 bucks at the end with the people would be cool. And someone beat me to it pretty much with a
Hopefully Fast Swiftback puts in $2. Transwarp conduit briefly destabilized the cloak, maybe, sure. And Christopher Cooper is amazing. $50 Australian.
which is 30 American dollars. So you just did okay.
Awesome.
There we go. Nice to give. But if you want to, please do.
Great chat today. Don't usually manage to catch them live. Well, I'm glad you did. And
I think you've super chat before. I think I recognise his name. Thanks,
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, it's been a long one, definitely a fun one. I know I said this to you at a different time, but it's so nice to talk positive about this. But the things we're fair and balanced. If they go as a good Trek, we talk about it in a good way. I remember episodes where I complained about a lot of things that had problems. This one's been almost entirely positive because they've earned it, hasn't it, Stuart?
Absolutely.
You give us good Trek and we give you good reviews. What do you expect?
I I'm interested to find out Trekyards why he hated it so much. Because I didn't watch
Did he?
that, but right.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he hated this one. Cam So puts in 279 Canadian. What's the chance we see DS-12s or new Federation ships? What's a DS-12?
Deep
Oh,
Space
Deep Space 12. We're not going to see it.
Season
Federation
2,
ships,
maybe.
possibly.
No, I Federation ships at the end of the season, absolutely 100%. Because, I mean, Eagle Moss has revealed we're going to see, like, there's ship designs, so there has to be. Yeah, we'll get it at the end.
Lookout Tower Radio puts in $5.
Thank you. £5.
Whatever happened to Vosh? Would be interesting to see what she would make of Picard, not in Starfleet, and would be a great ray of light for the show.
Yeah. Sure.
Could go either way.
Although I think it'd be very much like Indiana Jones 4. Bit too old, wrong vibe. I think, honestly, that would end up being. Leave her in the past.
Fleet Plus with back $2, 8.5 out of 10 for this episode. The arc is best. This arc is best so far. This arc's best so far. Gotcha.
So, Stuart, your final thoughts, and has this discussion changed your opinion at all?
No.
Okay.
Good episode. I've already pointed out everything I liked about it. So
yeah.
As far as ranking goes, it's going to have to get an 8.5. So 8.5 out of 10.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think this is still second best for me. I think I enjoyed the Riker one more because the acting was so strong and it showed Picard being Picard more. But this one, this one might beat that one depending how the end plays out. Because there's so many little things here, but I think it was probably a little bit too fragmented. If I'm gonna say a few little negatives, the Jurati stuff really didn't care. Soji was good, but not that great in it. Kind of a little bit sharper, but that's just like how do you improve it? And then holograms are brilliant. Yeah, I think 8.5 is fair. I think 8.5, maybe 8.7 for me. It's very solid, and the script was not the best, but it was served so well by the fact that we got answers to mysteries, and for the most part they were satisfying, which is not Discovery, especially its forte. They're quite bad at the mystery box and solving it. So yeah, 8.5 strong or 8.7 strong episode. The next time on, that's gonna be a hell of a discussion on Tuesday, which is our prediction live, because Stuart can't do Wednesday, so Wednesday will be off, but it means tune in on Thursday and Friday. And yeah, I think hopefully we're gonna get like 1 hour, 5-minute episodes, like a full 2-hour movie ending with epic scope, epic budget they've saved all the money for, epic Federation ships, Borg ships, all this big thing. That I think will be very exciting. And guys, put out your scores right now. Super chat, Stuart will read them. Non-super chat, I will read them.
Well, before I get to the super chats, got to read Eugene's.
Yes. So super chat while you wait.
$53.11 Canadian. So thank you, Eugene.
Thank you.
Good. Everything on La Serena. It's beautiful. Bad. Not just Mass Effect vibes, but full-blown ripoffs. Plot lines are wrapped up quite fast. What happened to the cube? Zot Vash done. What's up with Ramda? Zot Vash done. What's up with Rios and the Ibn Madrid? Yet again, Zot Vash shenanigans done. So 9 out of 10 for small scale plot, 10 out of 10 for Rios, but 1 out of 10 for grand scale plot. I don't think that's fair to say.
1 out of 10, but we've got to go into the planet, and we have the Borg bit, and we have the...
All the other things, like, I don't think it's fair to say. What happened to the cube? We'll find out. Relax. What's up with Ramda? Probably won't find out, but...
Yeah, that's done. That one's done for sure. Rios, the ship stuff, I bet we'll see that in flashbacks at some point.
I can see Ramda all of a sudden attacking 709 from behind. Because they called out in this one that the doctor said there was no reason for her to be in a coma.
Yeah. So as soon as she senses the cube's out of their control and they could be used for bad against the Romulan Empire, she'll come back. And I like that. That's kind of cool. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
All right, so super chats. Taurus, $69. I rate this episode 9 out of 10. Quincy, £2. I would like the fleet to be led by the USS Titan. Would be great to see Captain Riker.
We might just see that.
We
might just see that.
Yeah. Jarzia, $5 Canadian, 6.5 out of 10. Some stuff I hated, some stuff I loved, but the stuff I loved was the show doing well by its characters, story, not hiding behind fan service. Although there's some fan service sprinkled in there, I guess.
But it was just universe stuff. It wasn't.
It was great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. The captain, and yeah, that's awesome.
That's great.
Aku, £2.
Thank you.
But serious question: why choose synthesis? Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I'll wait. It's fine.
Everyone's got their own possible things. I mean, synthesis wasn't too bad. Everyone gets to be together. It's better than, I mean, is it better to kill everyone? You know? Hey, any version of the ending where you destroy the Mass Effect relays is dumb. Because then suddenly every planet, and every alien on every planet, is out of, food, out of resources at some point. It's not a good system. So synthesis is the only one that makes the most positive sense. And you can rebuild them. So, yeah, there you go. Answered.
Cool. Other Charles puts in $5. Hey, guys. Just joined the stream. Any thoughts on what Jerry Ryan was hinting at with Future 7 of 9 during this week's Ready Room, a spinoff? I haven't seen this week's Ready Room yet.
Yeah.
But
I mean, a Rangers spinoff is worth doing, honestly. A lot of potential there. I mean, you can even set it in between Picard and not Picard and give her, that journey. It would be fun. She's a good actress. Just have her be less twangy with her accent.
And see her non-relationship with Bajazel so that people can be proven wrong. Brad Weekland, $2.
Oh. Thank you.
Well, we figure he might have put Tracker on Soji, or now that What's Her Nuts is not in a coma anymore, there could still be stuff running through her body that he can maybe trace.
And in our spoiler-free review, how do you follow the people? Well, they're at warp. He thought logically they'd go to the nearest deep space station. He scanned, he cloaked, he did a search pattern. They obviously, if you're going a straight line and he guessed they were going there, you could find them quite quickly, I'm sure. And I'm sure this is a warship. It could be faster at warp than La Serena, a cargo ship. So I could, he's a smart guy. He's a trained Jat Vash, so I could see, I could see him being there.
90 Lancaster, transwarp conduits have walls. It's not like Swindon Spork would get lost. Darren Cullen, he calls him Swindon Spock all the time.
And Streak 9, he's not on IMDb. Who is not on IMDb, so you think it's a reshoot? I'm interested to see what you think, which character. It's going to be fun to know what they reshot and how they reshot it, but what character wasn't IMDb?
Eric asks, what is the maximum speed of the La Serena? We have no idea.
I don't think they'll ever need to tell us anyway. But I would guess like an 8. 8's pretty fast. Yeah. So there we go. Successful live, I think. These are certainly my favourite lives of the week. And I do like how much stuff we got right. Because we got a lot right, actually.
Yeah, we got a lot right in this one, yeah.
But
as you said, when he opened up that chest, his uniform would be in there, and so I was like, Sammy got that right.
But it was satisfying, right? They were logical things. But it's going to be so fun once we finish the season to go back and watch our original predictions, and obviously, as we get further along, they get more and more real, because we have no idea what the situation is going to be. It'll be fun to see what completely we're off with, and what nuggets we got right. That'll be really quite satisfying.
Somebody's just going to go watch our stuff from years ago, our prediction videos, when this is 5 years from now, they're going to go watch these, and they're going to write a book.
Yeah.
Like a novel based on all of our predictions, because we got some good ideas. So
the 19 alternate Discovery Season 1 ideas based on Trekyards. They'll flesh out each one. But yeah, this was great, guys, and we will see you... Well, you'll see us tomorrow and the next day. And then Monday you'll see us, Tuesday you'll see us, Thursday you'll see Stuart, and Friday we'll be back again. I'm really excited for... I think it's the most excited I've been for the next part. For any Discovery and any of Picard, I think. Because I do think we're going to see Brent on the planet. I absolutely think that's the most obvious thing to do, and it'll be... At this point, with that payoff that'll be for Patrick, for John Luke, that makes sense to give us.
Well, then the prediction video for next one will be fun, I think.
Yes, I think it'll be pretty brilliant. And yeah, who's be the well, that's final super chat. We got 2, and the last one's amazing. So I'll let Stu read them out, and I'll call that happy. Yeah.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. Thought we could get to 400, but 350 is great. Hashtag make Jeff pay.
Yeah. Any last likes? We're at 350. Any last likes? Go now. Go go go.
Yes, if you haven't please hit like before you leave. Yep. Sushi Juice though throws in $10. Thank you very much.
Amazing, brilliant.
I like this plot of some evil commie G once passing a technological threshold. The first time I saw it in Mass Effect.
I mean, it is tricky because that is very much the plot of a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should hear the same things over and over again. It just gets to be a little like, all right.
Especially as I might say it to you for the first time, and then we have the great debate about it that works, and then you hear it again and again and again and again. So
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Well, we'll see you soon. Have a great everything. This was good. Thanks, guys, for joining in. See you next time. Until then, he's Captain Foley.
Yep.
He is.
He's Commander Calkins. I don't know why he does that to me every time.
Not every time. Only half. Bye, guys.
Bye.